Chapter 2941. Please hand over the culprit, Manager Lu. Sunlight Mountain Buddha was difficult to kill, and ultimately, he died from his own self-destruction. Zhao Dongsheng's great Tao true form blocked all the self-destructive force of Sunlight Mountain Buddha, preventing any power from leaking out. However, because of this, Zhao Dongsheng was severely injured. The internal giant sword Tao Sovereign was also heavily injured. Fortunately, they were revenants, and for revenants, injuries were insignificant. As long as they weren't dead, no matter how severe the injuries, they could recover quickly. Although it was difficult to kill, it only took a little over a minute in total. Sunlight Mountain Buddha self-destructed, perished, but the fragments of flesh and blood remained, which was enough. The undying flame flew out, landing on these fragments, and they immediately began to regenerate. The previously annihilated soul also reappeared in the undying flame. The most incomprehensible aspect of the spell revival of the dead is its ability to regenerate souls. Lin Moyu didn't know how it worked, he didn't understand it before, and he still doesn't understand it now. For things he couldn't understand, Lin Moyu chose to temporarily set them aside and not think too much about them. Such questions are meaningless to ponder when his realm is higher in the future, he will naturally understand. In the undying flame, the Sunlight Mountain Buddha, who died from self-destruction, reappeared and respectfully knelt before Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu asked a few questions and then turned to leave. This time, none of the four ancient Buddhas followed him. Lin Moyu left alone, not returning to his room, but going to Lu Wanai again. Lin Moyu sat down unceremoniously in front of Lu Wanai and drank the tea on the table in one gulp. "Senior, thank you for your help earlier." Lu Wanai immediately replied, "Mr. Lin, you're too kind." It had only been a few hours since they last met, but seeing Lin Moyu again, Lu Wanai felt a strange sense of change, as if facing not a Tao sovereign of the second realm, but an ancestor of the seventh realm. He didn't know what method Lin Moyu used to easily control the four ancient Buddhas. Lin Moyu smiled, "I'm sorry for the trouble earlier. I remember your kindness, and I will repay it in the future. This matter has been resolved and shouldn't cause any trouble." Lu Wanai said, "Even if there is trouble, I will handle it." His politeness towards Lin Moyu was even greater than before. Lin Moyu asked, "Senior Lu, I need to tell you something. In a few days, someone might come looking for you, probably a six-wheel ancient Buddha from the Buddhist clan. When the time comes, just handle it according to the rules. If there's any issue, I'll take care of it." Lu Wanai was stunned. A six-wheel ancient Buddha? Lin Moyu nodded, an important ancient Buddha from the great Sun Holy Land of the Buddhist clan, coming to stand up for Sunlight Mountain Buddha. "It's nothing serious, I'm just giving you a heads up to be prepared." Lu Wanai knew there must be more to it, but Lin Moyu clearly didn't intend to explain further. A six-wheel ancient Buddha, although not much in front of the hurricane warship, was not easy to provoke. Lu Wanai nodded, "All right, I understand. Mr. Lin, do you know when he might appear?" Lin Moyu thought for a moment, "Most likely at the first stop when we dock in the northern continent." "Understood, I'll be prepared." After chatting with Lu Wanai for a while, Lin Moyu left, and the whole matter seemed as if it never happened, with no one on the ship aware of it. In the following days, the four ancient Buddhas behaved as usual, with no abnormal actions. The No. 4 hurricane warship sailed smoothly through the Boundary Sea, encountering no trouble. Over countless years, the hurricane warship had traveled back and forth many times, rarely encountering problems. The encounter with the brilliant star python when Lin Moyu traveled from the southern continent to the eastern continent was a rare event. Most of the time, there were no surprises. Finally, on the 76th day since Lin Moyu boarded the ship, the No. 4 hurricane warship arrived safely in the northern continent. On the first day of entering the northern continent, the hurricane warship would dock at the southeasternmost city, Bluebird City. Bluebird City belonged to the demon clan, specifically the Bluebird lineage. Although not the most powerful lineage in the demon clan, their strength was not to be underestimated. Their presence was equivalent to a 5-star force among the human clan in the southern continent, with Tao sovereigns among them. As a coastal city in the southeasternmost part of the northern continent, Bluebird City was bustling with people, not only demons but also other races. After all, from certain perspectives, the human and demon clans hadn't truly turned against each other, unlike the dragon and insect clans, who were mortal enemies. Human merchants often bought specialties from the northern continent and brought them back to the human world for sale. Similarly, those merchants would bring human goods to the demon clan for sale. Lu Feng Merchant Guild was one of these merchants, and the largest one at that. This time, the hurricane warship carried a large amount of foreign goods, ready to be sold in the Demon Clan's territory. The hurricane warship would dock outside Bluebird City for half a day, and many people would leave here. Amida Buddha, a Buddhist chant echoed from outside the ship, and a golden-bodied Buddha appeared in the sky. The vast sky was filled with dazzling golden light, the Buddha's appearance dignified, with eyes showing 3 parts compassion and 7 parts majesty, looking down at the hurricane warship from above. 6 giant halos surrounded the Buddha, indicating his identity as a 6-wheel ancient Buddha. Above the 6 giant halos, several great suns shone brightly. The appearance of the 6-wheel ancient Buddha instantly attracted the attention of everyone on the hurricane warship. A 6-wheel ancient Buddha. What is this 6-wheel ancient Buddha, who has transformed into a great Buddha golden body, here to do? Doesn't he know that the hurricane warship belongs to the Lu Feng Merchant Guild? Even as a 6-wheel ancient Buddha, he can't compare to the Lu Feng Merchant Guild. Is this guy crazy, daring to provoke the Lu Feng Merchant Guild? Does he want to reach Nirvana early? Perhaps he's not here to cause trouble. After all, as a 6-wheel ancient Buddha, equivalent to a Tao sovereign of the 6th realm, he's invincible unless a 7th realm ancestor appears. 7th realm ancestors rarely appear, and many holy landowners are Tao sovereigns of the 6th realm. Over time, there's a saying that without a 7th realm ancestor, the 6th realm is the highest power in the world. However, even so, few people on the hurricane warship were afraid. Because they were on the hurricane warship, no one could harm them. The 6-wheel ancient Buddha chanted the Buddha's name again, and the Buddha's light shone, enveloping the hurricane warship. The Buddha spoke, "I am 1000 Gold Light Buddha, and I request to speak with the manager of the hurricane warship." Lu Wanai appeared at the bow of the ship, also transforming into a 1000-meter giant, looking at 1000 Gold Light Buddha, "I am Lu Wanai, the manager of this ship. What brings the main Buddha here?" Lu Wanai was neither humble nor arrogant, still polite. Although he was only a Tao sovereign of the 5th realm, not comparable to a 6-wheel ancient Buddha, he represented the Lu Feng Merchant Guild, so cultivation level didn't matter. 1000 Gold Light Buddha pointed lightly, and a figure appeared in the Buddha's light, precisely Lin Moyu. Lu Wanai frowned slightly, wondering how 1000 Gold Light Buddha knew Lin Moyu's appearance. 1000 Gold Light Buddha said in a low voice, "This person on the ship killed my disciple. Please hand over the culprit, Manager Lu." Chapter 2942, 2942. Chapter 2942, Is it really still alive? The 1000 Sunlight Buddha stated his reason, and everyone realized he was here to demand someone. However, most people didn't really believe what he said. Some scoffed, killing someone on the hurricane warship. What a joke. Does he really think the hurricane warship is that kind of place? Over the years, who would dare kill someone on the hurricane warship? Exactly, if you're going to find an excuse, at least make it a reasonable one. What kind of reason is this? Are the people from the Buddhist clan crazy? Are they using this excuse to cause trouble for the Lu Feng Merchant Guild? It's possible. The Lu Feng Merchant Guild's main power is in the Eastern continent. Maybe the Buddhist clan wants to get involved in the Eastern continent. Various speculations emerged, becoming more and more outrageous. Lu Wanai, as the manager of the hurricane warship, sneered, "This guest has an unusual and noble identity. Just listening to your one-sided story isn't convincing. Why don't you tell us who your disciple is?" The 1000 Sunlight Buddha said loudly, "My disciple is the Sunlight Mountain Buddha." Lu Wanai thought for a moment, there is indeed a Sunlight Mountain Buddha. He is currently meditating in his room. I'll notify him. Upon hearing this, the 1000 Sunlight Buddha frowned. He had clearly seen the Sunlight Mountain Buddha being killed. How could he still be meditating? But from Lu Wanai's words, it didn't seem like a lie. Could it be that Lu Wanai didn't know the Sunlight Mountain Buddha had been killed? Lu Wanai began to contact someone, but he wasn't contacting the Sunlight Mountain Buddha in room 21, he was contacting Lin Moyu. He knew that the Sunlight Mountain Buddha was already under Lin Moyu's control. Through the formation, he contacted Lin Moyu, but before he could speak, Lin Moyu's voice came through, "No problem, I'll handle it." As the voice sounded, Lin Moyu also appeared at the bow of the ship. The 1000 Sunlight Buddha saw Lin Moyu and chanted a Buddhist mantra, a surge of killing intent rising. If Lin Moyu weren't still on the hurricane warship, he would have already made a move. At this moment, another person walked out. It was the Sunlight Mountain Buddha. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha was stunned on the spot, and the killing intent that had just risen completely dissipated. He didn't understand what was happening. The Sunlight Mountain Buddha was clearly dead, so why was he here? Could it be a fake? His eyes shone with Buddha's light, but no matter how he looked, it didn't seem fake. Could it be that the treasure had malfunctioned? The Sunlight Mountain Buddha saluted the Thousand Sunlight Buddha. Amitabha, Sunlight Mountain greets the elder. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha asked, "You're not dead?" This question caused laughter among the spectators on the ship. A dignified six-wheel ancient Buddha, and he's a madman. A living person is standing right here, and he asks if he's dead. That's hilarious. Are all the Buddhists such lunatics? The laughter made the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's expression even worse. Even he began to doubt whether the treasure had malfunctioned, but it seemed impossible. As he was puzzled, Lin Moyu suddenly spoke, "Thousand Sunlight Buddha, you said I killed your disciple, the Sunlight Mountain Buddha." The Thousand Sunlight Buddha looked at Lin Moyu. Under normal circumstances, a mere Tao sovereign of the second realm wouldn't even qualify to speak with him. But now, he had no choice but to respond, "Whether you killed him, you know in your heart." Lin Moyu chuckled, "I have no idea. Did you receive some benefit to come here specifically to kill me?" The Thousand Sunlight Buddha was confused, not understanding Lin Moyu's words. Lin Moyu continued, "I have many enemies. If you received benefits from others to kill me, it's understandable. I can understand." At this point, the others on the ship suddenly realized that what Lin Moyu said seemed closer to the truth. "I told you, how could a Tao sovereign of the second realm kill a four-wheel ancient Buddha?" Exactly, and this four-wheel ancient Buddha is standing right here. It's obviously an excuse. It seems that, as this friend said, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha received benefits to come and kill someone, but didn't find a good excuse. The Buddhists are like this, appearing equal to all beings on the surface, but who knows how dark they are behind the scenes. A flood of slander was poured onto the Thousand Sunlight Buddha, not only on him but on the entire Buddhist clan. At their level, reputation was very important. Originally coming with great momentum for revenge, he now became the target of ridicule, seen as a paid killer. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha felt a sense of frustration, realizing that Lin Moyu had intentionally said this to muddy the waters. But he had no way to refute it. As long as the Sunlight Mountain Buddha stood there, he had no reason. At this moment, the other three ancient Buddhas also came out. Sunset Twilight Buddha, Dawn Rising East Buddha, and East Facing Golden Sun Buddha. They came to the Sunlight Mountain Buddha's side and saluted the Thousand Sunlight Buddha, "Greetings, Elder." The Thousand Sunlight Buddha felt his face burning and shouted, "Come with me." The four of them didn't hesitate and flew out of the ship to the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's side. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha seemed unwilling to give up and checked the Sunlight Mountain Buddha thoroughly, confirming he wasn't an imposter and was indeed alive. Only then did he reluctantly say, "Perhaps this is a misunderstanding. Manager Lu, I apologize to you." Lu Wanai snorted coldly, "You should apologize not to me but to him. He is our most distinguished guest, and you wanted to kill him." Lin Moyu waved his hand, "Forget it, he might not know." Lin Moyu looked at the Thousand Sunlight Buddha and said, "If you still want to kill me, think about the consequences. It's not something you or your Buddhist clan can bear." As he spoke, Lin Moyu's aura surged, an overwhelming pressure sweeping across the sky and earth. Everyone was shocked. Although Lin Moyu was only a Tao sovereign of the second realm, in the eyes of the many passengers, this realm was only average. But Lin Moyu's aura as a superior was not something an ordinary Tao sovereign could possess. It indicated that Lin Moyu's identity was indeed extraordinary, not comparable to an ordinary Tao sovereign. This also indirectly suggested that the Thousand Sunlight Buddha might really have a reason to kill Lin Moyu. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha was also startled by Lin Moyu's aura. After regaining his senses, his expression became extremely ugly. He whispered, "Let's go." Golden light enveloped the ancient Buddhas, and they turned to leave. He knew that staying any longer would accomplish nothing. With the Hurricane warship present, even if Lin Moyu were the culprit, as long as he didn't leave the Hurricane warship, there was nothing he could do. Watching the Thousand Sunlight Buddha leave, the drama finally ended. Lin Moyu returned to his room as if nothing had happened, leisurely drinking tea, not taking the matter to heart. Soon, there was a knock on the door, and Lu Wanai arrived. Lin Moyu knew Lu Wanai would come and smiled, "Senior Lu, come have some tea. Let's talk slowly." Lu Wanai wasn't in the mood for tea and immediately asked, "Is the Sunlight Mountain Buddha really still alive?" Chapter 2943, 2943. Chapter 2943, Lu once invited Mr. Lin. Lin Moyu looked at Lu Wanai with a half-smile. Senior Lu, didn't you just see it? In front of everyone, it was impossible not to see that Sunlight Mountain Buddha was alive and well. However, Lu Wanai found it hard to believe. Given Lin Moyu's character, he shouldn't have let the ancient Buddhas go so easily. Since he had a way to control them, it shouldn't have been difficult to deal with them. But now that they left, wasn't Lin Moyu's effort in vain? Lin Moyu smiled. Actually, none of this matters. They'll come looking for me again soon anyway. Lu Wanai was slightly stunned. What do you mean? Lin Moyu said, I found that people from the Buddhist clan like to leave marks on others. That guy left a mark on me when he left. Lu Wanai looked surprised he hadn't noticed when Thousand Sunlight Buddha made his move. This also indicated that the opponent's strength was far beyond his own. Yet Lin Moyu, a Dao sovereign of the second realm, was able to detect it. Lu Wanai said, leaving a mark isn't a problem. When you reach your destination, someone from the guild will come to meet you. He knew some inside information. When Lin Moyu arrived, someone from the Lu Feng Merchant Guild, likely a Dao sovereign of the seventh realm, would come to meet him. So Lin Moyu's safety wasn't a concern. Lin Moyu smiled, whether he comes or not doesn't affect me much. If he comes, I might just have to put in a bit more effort to kill him. If he doesn't, then he's just lucky, and it's not his time to die. Lin Moyu spoke lightly, but to Lu Wanai, it was like a thunderclap. Lu Wanai was shocked, but he's a six-wheel ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu smiled without answering. Lu Wanai wisely changed the subject. Mr. Lin, if I may ask, was it true what you said about Thousand Sunlight Buddha being paid to kill you? Lin Moyu laughed. Of course it was false. I just said it to embarrass him. Didn't you see how bad his face looked? Lu Wanai had indeed noticed that Thousand Sunlight Buddha's face was extremely unpleasant. Lin Moyu's casual remark had already made countless people believe it. Once this spread, the entire Buddhist clan might not be able to explain it. After chatting for a while, Lu Wanai left Lin Moyu's room. Back at his residence, Lu Wanai decided to report the events to the Lu Feng Merchant Guild through the formation. He included not only the recent events but also Lin Moyu's control over the ancient Buddhas, leaving nothing out. Lu Wanai knew that this matter couldn't be kept secret, so he might as well report it himself. According to the rules, he had violated the guild's regulations and would certainly be punished. He was prepared for that. Half a day later, he received a response from the Lu Feng Merchant Guild. To his surprise, the reply came from the headquarters in the Eastern Continent, and it was from the three ancestors. The three ancestors didn't blame him. Instead, they said he handled it well and would be rewarded upon his return. Lu Wanai was almost overjoyed, realizing he had directly communicated with the three ancestors. At the same time, he understood that Lin Moyu was truly favored by the three ancestors. For Lin Moyu's sake, even if he made some mistakes, he could be forgiven. The three ancestors also instructed him not to interfere with Lin Moyu's matters as long as he didn't dismantle the warship. This made Lu Wanai view Lin Moyu with newfound respect, realizing Lin Moyu's high status in the eyes of the three ancestors. His initial choice was not wrong. Lin Moyu continued his usual activities in his courtyard. Xiao Wu and the others had returned to the world of rules. Since the incident with the mark, they had lost interest in going outside. After all, the world of rules had many stars and countless fun things, much more entertaining than the warship. Lin Moyu didn't remove the mark left by Thousand Sunlight Buddha. He had already embarrassed Thousand Sunlight Buddha with his earlier nonsense. In this state, the only purpose of leaving a mark was to find an opportunity to kill him. Lin Moyu sipped his tea leisurely, saying, "You want to kill me, but I also want to kill you." He spoke lightly, but his killing intent was evident. After a half-day stop in Bluebird City, the Hurricane warship continued its journey. News about Thousand Sunlight Buddha had spread during this short time. Not only did the cultivators in Bluebird City know about it, but even those further away did too. The gossip level of the demon clan was no less than that of the human clan. Many people speculated about Lin Moyu's identity. Lu Wanai had represented the Lu Feng Merchant Guild, saying Lin Moyu was the most distinguished guest, coupled with the aura Lin Moyu exuded. His identity sparked much speculation. In just a few days, various theories emerged, with the most common being that Lin Moyu was a holy son of a sacred land. Some even said Lin Moyu was the true heir of a sacred land or the illegitimate child of a top ancestor. Various theories circulated, each more convincing than the last. A few days later, the entire demon clan knew that an extraordinary Dao sovereign from the human clan had arrived. Given the relationship between the demon and human clans, many were curious about how they would deal with Lin Moyu. The hurricane warship didn't venture deep into the demon clan's territory but stopped at various coastal cities. However, it moved farther and farther from the eastern continent. When the hurricane warship reached its sixth stop in the northern continent, it stopped in front of a city called Kangfang City. Kangfang City was also Lin Moyu's destination. Lin Moyu left his room, and Lu Wanai was already waiting at the bow. Seeing Lin Moyu come out, Lu Wanai immediately approached. "Mr. Lin, I just received a message from the elder. He will be here soon." Lin Moyu smiled. "Thank you, Senior Lu, for taking care of me on this journey. I've noted everything that happened before." Lu Wanai quickly shook his head. "Mr. Lin, you're too kind. I was just doing what I should." Lin Moyu didn't say much more. Some things didn't need to be said. While they spoke, many people on the boat watched them. Seeing Lu Wanai's courteous attitude towards Lin Moyu, they were even more convinced that Lin Moyu's identity was extraordinary. Half an hour later, a stream of light approached at an astonishing speed and quickly stopped in front of the hurricane warship. The light dispersed, revealing an exquisite flying boat. On the boat stood a man with an immortal demeanor, standing against the wind. His powerful aura naturally emanated, causing everyone's expression to change. A seventh realm ancestor. At least seventh realm, so strong. He seems even stronger than an ordinary seventh realm ancestor. The gap between the seventh and sixth realms is really big. The natural pressure he emitted made everyone's breath halt. Lin Moyu saw the newcomer and couldn't help but smile. It was an old acquaintance. He was someone Lin Moyu had rescued from the Starwind secret treasury. If he remembered correctly, his name was Lu Zong, a Dao sovereign of the seventh realm, with a similar realm to Lu Shudao but not as high in status within the Lu family. Lu Zong scanned the area and cupped his fists towards Lin Moyu. Lu Zong respectfully invites Mr. Lin. Chapter 2944, 2944. Chapter 2944, your reaction is a bit slow. Lu Zong's invitation to Mr. Lin was not just a polite gesture, it carried genuine respect for Lin Moyu. Everyone was astonished. They didn't know who Lu Zong was, but they knew he was a seventh realm ancestor, which was undeniable. A seventh realm ancestor showing such respect to Lin Moyu was beyond anyone's imagination. Even if Lin Moyu were an illegitimate child of an ancestor from a sacred land, he wouldn't receive such treatment. Lu Zong's appearance shattered people's speculations about Lin Moyu once again. This event would surely stir more speculation about Lin Moyu's identity in the coming days. A beam of light shot from the flying boat, landing directly at Lin Moyu's feet. Lin Moyu smiled slightly and stepped into the light. The light carried Lin Moyu onto the flying boat, and he saluted Lu Zong. "Senior, long time no see." Lu Zong laughed. "It's been years since we last met, Mr. Lin. It's an honor to see you again." Lin Moyu replied, "Senior, you're too kind. I was just lucky." Lu Zong said, "Some things aren't about luck, strength is strength." He then turned to Lu Wanai. "I'm taking Mr. Lin with me. Please inform the guild." Lu Wanai saluted Lu Zong. "Safe travels, ancestor." The flying boat turned into a stream of light and quickly disappeared into the distance. Lu Wanai breathed a sigh of relief, thinking to himself, "I didn't expect a seventh realm ancestor to show such respect to Mr. Lin. It seems Mr. Lin's importance to the ancestors is more than it appears." Lu Zong piloted the flying boat at high speed towards their destination. Lu Zong said softly, "The Ice and Fire's secret treasury is quite far. It will take about 2 days to reach it." Lin Moyu replied, 2 days isn't long. If I were flying, it might take dozens of days." Lu Zong said, "I didn't expect you to have become a Dao sovereign, and at the second realm too. Your cultivation speed is truly astonishing." Lin Moyu humbly replied, "It's just luck." Lu Zong said, "You're too modest, Mr. Lin. It's clearly strength, not luck. Compared to you, those so-called geniuses are nothing." Lin Moyu joked, "If you say that, Sister Feng Yao will hit me." Lu Zong replied, "Feng Yao is naturally an exception. The 3 ancestors are nurturing her carefully, and she's on the same path as those geniuses." Lin Moyu understood that Lu Fengyao would likely follow a path similar to his own. Perhaps not initially, but certainly before reaching the 4th realm of Dao Sovereign. With the three ancestors guiding her, Lu Fengyao wouldn't stray from the right path. The three ancestors had high hopes for Lu Fengyao but didn't seem to have any special plans for her father, Lu Shudao. The three ancestors must have their reasons for this. Lu Zong flew at incredible speed, quickly covering millions of miles, with dense ancient forests below. Lin Moyu noticed something strange. The number of spirit beasts in the northern continent seemed low. He wondered if it had always been this way or if it was a recent change. Lin Moyu asked, "Senior, have spirit beasts always been this scarce in the northern continent?" Lu Zong replied, "No, there used to be many spirit beasts in the northern continent. It's only in the last 100 years that their numbers have sharply declined." This issue caught the attention of the northern continent's demon clan, and they investigated but found nothing. Later, they also commissioned our guild to investigate, but we found nothing as well. Lin Moyu instinctively thought this might be related to Antares. He didn't know what Antares was doing, but he believed there was a reason behind it. Perhaps not only in the eastern and northern continents, but the other two continents might also be experiencing similar situations. Lin Moyu suddenly looked far to the left, and a moment later, Lu Zong followed his gaze. They both sensed someone approaching from a great distance, heading in their direction. Lu Zong said, "There are people from the Buddhist clan coming." Lin Moyu's eyes shifted. "Senior, I have a favor to ask." Lu Zong asked, "Do you want me to kill those guys?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "Yes, but I don't need you to do it. Please conceal your aura so they dare to come closer. Otherwise, they'll surely flee." With a seventh realm ancestor present, even the Thousand Sunlight Buddha wouldn't dare approach. Lu Zong quickly concealed his aura, lowering his realm to the fourth realm of Tao Sovereign. At this level, it was neither too high nor too low, quite reasonable. As his realm decreased, so did his speed, matching that of a fourth realm Tao Sovereign. Lu Zong said, "I'll watch from the side. If you're in danger, I'll step in." Lin Moyu smiled, "Thank you, Senior." Moments later, the aura of the Thousand Sunlight Buddha became very apparent as he approached at incredible speed. Guided by the mark, he accurately located Lin Moyu. About an hour later, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha appeared directly in front of Lin Moyu. Lu Zong cooperated perfectly, coming to a sudden stop in midair. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha sat on a treasure shaped like a flaming lotus, his great Buddha golden body shining brilliantly, weaving countless golden lights into a cage that trapped Lin Moyu and Lu Zong. Behind the Thousand Sunlight Buddha were Sunlight Mountain Buddha, Sunset Twilight Buddha, Dawn Rising East Buddha, and East-facing Golden Sun Buddha. Lin Moyu looked at the Thousand Sunlight Buddha, "Here to kill me?" The Thousand Sunlight Buddha said in a low voice, "You slandered the Buddhist clan, so I must act to subdue demons and monsters." Before he could finish, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's expression changed drastically. A massive force erupted beside him. The four ancient Buddhas who came with him suddenly attacked, targeting him instead of Lin Moyu. The attack was so sudden that the Thousand Sunlight Buddha was caught off guard and hit on the spot. "What are you doing?" The Thousand Sunlight Buddha shouted angrily, golden light bursting from him, repelling the four. At the same time, he spat a mouthful of blood, clearly injured. Although the four were far less powerful than the Thousand Sunlight Buddha, their surprise attack was enough to injure him. After being repelled, the four quickly counterattacked, recklessly pouncing on the Thousand Sunlight Buddha and attacking fiercely. Sunlight Mountain Buddha and Sunset Twilight Buddha simultaneously used their great Buddha golden bodies, a mountain with a blazing sun pressing down on the Thousand Sunlight Buddha. Sunset Twilight Buddha's eyes glowed with golden light, and a pair of giant Buddha eyes appeared in midair, unleashing powerful soul energy. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha roared, "Are you crazy?" 1,000 blazing suns rose behind him, spewing countless flames like meteors at the four. Amidst the roaring explosions, the four were knocked back, each injured. But they continued their relentless assault, fighting as if their lives depended on it. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha noticed their abnormal behavior and looked sharply at Lin Moyu. "It's you did something." Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "Your reaction is a bit slow." The true form of the Great Tao of Fortune activated with a roar, and Lin Moyu's body became ethereal and indistinct. A wisp of Great Tao power silently locked onto the Thousand Sunlight Buddha. The Sword of Fortune followed, slashing out. Chapter 2945, 2945. Chapter 2945, Punished to the Avachi Hell. The pure white Sword of Fortune was not visible to everyone. The Sword of Fortune connected with 3 swords, and the Thousand Sunlight Buddha did not feel injured, but his aura suddenly dropped a level. As he operated his spells, he felt a slight delay. Although his realm hadn't changed, he felt weakened. The perception of a six-wheel ancient Buddha was very sharp, and he immediately realized that Lin Moyu had done something. "What did you do?" The Thousand Sunlight Buddha shouted angrily at Lin Moyu, trying to rush over, but Sunlight Mountain Buddha and Sunset Twilight Buddha firmly blocked him. Lin Moyu chuckled, and two more swords of fortune formed, one pure white and the other pitch black. The Sword of Fortune and the Sword of Poison. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha seemed to sense something, feeling uneasy, with a chill rising from the depths of his heart, but he couldn't see anything. The fear came from the unknown, and he roared, his body shining with golden light, surrounded by 6 halos for defense. Lin Moyu shook his head gently, "It's useless." The two swords simultaneously struck the Thousand Sunlight Buddha, with the Sword of Fortune still being 3 swords, greatly weakening his fortune. The Sword of Poison, like a bone-attached maggot, continued to lower his fortune. After 2 attacks, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's fortune instantly dropped by more than half. He felt a sense of weakness, his entire body uncomfortable, with problems in the operation of his spell power everywhere. His combat power dropped significantly, and although he was a 6-wheel ancient Buddha, he could only exert the power of a 5-wheel ancient Buddha. Moreover, his power continued to decline. Facing an unknown attack, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha was horrified, not knowing what method Lin Moyu used, but understanding that it could cost him his life. "Amitabha, if I don't enter hell, who will?" With a Buddhist chant, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's eyes showed determination. 1,000 blazing suns erupted, spinning like a storm, forming a terrifying flame storm that instantly engulfed his 4 fellow disciples. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha knew clearly that to kill Lin Moyu, he had to first deal with his 4 fellow disciples. As long as they were present, he couldn't do anything to Lin Moyu. Moreover, they attacked as if possessed, completely disregarding their own lives, clearly under Lin Moyu's control. At this moment, he fully understood why the events on the Hurricane warship happened as they did. The reason was that his 4 fellow disciples were already controlled by Lin Moyu and were no longer themselves. Since that was the case, then kill them. Like the Tao sovereigns, the power gap between each realm of the ancient Buddhas was significant. Even though the Thousand Sunlight Buddha had been weakened, he was still powerful. Under the Buddha's light, the flame storm swallowed the 4. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha continued chanting, filled with killing intent, but his words still carried the appearance of saving all beings. His tone was filled with pity. "Benefactor, the sea of suffering is boundless, turn back to the shore, lay down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha." Lin Moyu chuckled, "I've slaughtered countless people. If I could lay down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha, wouldn't it be unfair to those who have sought Buddha for many years?" As he spoke, Lin Moyu's killing intent surged, far more terrifying than the Thousand Sunlight Buddhas, gathering in the air 100,000 times more. In an instant, the killing intent stirred the wind and clouds, creating visions. The killing intent howled, as if countless souls were wailing and lamenting. The killing intent was so intense it had become tangible. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha's mere killing intent was nothing compared to Lin Moyu's. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha was shocked, never imagining Lin Moyu's killing intent could reach such a level. Lin Moyu was shrouded in killing intent, sneering, "Tell me, how can I become a Buddha? Which Buddha would dare accept me?" This voice struck the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's Buddha heart like a soul attack, causing it to waver, and he murmured along with Lin Moyu, "Yes, which Buddha would dare accept you?" Beside him, Lu Zeng also showed a look of shock. "Mr. Lin's killing intent is terrifying. How many beings must he have slaughtered to have such killing intent? Using killing intent to transform into evil energy, then using evil energy to influence the Buddha heart and Tao heart, such methods are beyond ordinary imagination." Even the Buddha heart of a 6-wheel ancient Buddha was affected, showing how heavy Lin Moyu's killing intent was. Boom! Amidst the explosion, the blazing sun storm suddenly twisted and deformed, and the east-facing golden sun Buddha, with the lowest cultivation, died, killed by his fellow disciple, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha. As a revenant, at the moment of death, he self-destructed. The self-destruction of a 2-wheel ancient Buddha was equally formidable, shaking the blazing sun storm. Immediately after, another explosion occurred. The dawn-rising East Buddha, with the cultivation of a 3-wheel ancient Buddha, also died, self-destructing before death. 2 consecutive self-destructions were too much for the blazing sun storm, causing it to deform completely, almost collapsing. At this time, the Sunset Twilight Buddha and Sunlight Mountain Buddha simultaneously rushed out of the blazing sun storm, attacking the Thousand Sunlight Buddha. They were already severely injured, seemingly on the verge of death, yet they still recklessly attacked. You wretches! The Thousand Sunlight Buddha was first startled, then roared angrily, the blazing sun storm gathering again, transforming into a giant dragon that swallowed the two. Lin Moyu smiled at the corner of his mouth, whispering, "It's over." Boom, boom, two terrifying forces swept across the land. The self-destructive power of the four-wheel ancient Buddhas was so strong that even a six-wheel ancient Buddha would be injured. At that time, the giant sword Dao Sovereign and Zhao Dongsheng were heavily injured in the self-destruction of the Sunlight Mountain Buddha. The Thousand Sunlight Buddha was no different, facing two self-destructions, he was also severely injured. The six halos dimmed, and the thousand blazing suns lost their previous brilliance. The great Buddha golden body of the Thousand Sunlight Buddha was almost shattered, the golden light no longer dazzling. In the self-destruction, the lush ancient forest within 10,000 miles was destroyed, countless beings perished. Lin Moyu said, "The 10,000 miles of ancient forest, countless beings, all died because of you. As a Buddhist, claiming to be compassionate, yet committing such slaughter, you deserve to go to hell. Every blade of grass and tree has a spirit. Your actions are demonic, you are unworthy of being a Buddha." Lin Moyu's voice carried a soul impact, crashing into the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's mind. At this moment, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha had not yet recovered from the explosion, suddenly receiving a soul impact, Lin Moyu's words reverberating in his soul world, shaking his Buddha heart, causing him to spit blood, adding injury to injury. Lin Moyu took advantage of the situation, activating the explosive luck technique. At this time, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha's fortune had already dropped to an extremely low level, and at the moment the explosive luck technique activated, Lin Moyu's fortune temporarily increased several times. Boom! Another explosion occurred, this time from within the Thousand Sunlight Buddha. Amidst screams, the great Buddha golden body of the Thousand Sunlight Buddha shattered on the spot. Not only did the great Buddha golden body shatter, but 3 of his 6 halos also shattered. Facing attacks from inside and outside, his Buddha heart was lost, his realm fell, and even if he could save his life now, it would be very difficult to restore his realm. Lin Moyu, with a cold smile, his body turned gray and white. The undying great Tao true form emerged, the great power of death, with infinite corrosiveness, fell upon the Thousand Sunlight Buddha. At the same time, Lin Moyu said again, turning from Buddha to demon, "I sentence you to the Avachi hell, to suffer the agony of a rotting body and a corroded soul." Chapter 2946, 2946. Chapter 2946, Once I go, it will become common. The Buddha's heart collapsed, severely injured, and his realm fell. In his last moments, the Thousand Sunlight Buddha endured all the pain he deserved. In his self-doubt, he was enveloped by the power of death, his entire body decaying, as if he had truly fallen into the Avachi hell, dying in agony. Ultimately, his flesh rotted, his soul shattered, and he perished. Lu Zeng watched from the side, thinking to himself, Mr. Lin's methods are truly terrifying. To counter-kill a 6-wheel ancient Buddha as a Tao sovereign of the 2nd realm, if Mr. Lin reaches the 7th realm in the future, I'm afraid no one but the 3 ancestors will be his match. Such a person is truly terrifying. Lu Zeng felt that Lin Moyu would inevitably become a figure like the 3 ancestors in the future. Entering the great Tao realm would be no problem. Such a person cannot be offended, one can only try to befriend him. Suddenly, a golden light emerged from the corpse's blood. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed slightly, and with a wave of his hand, he swept away the decayed flesh. A small, exquisite golden Buddha statue appeared in view. What is this? Lin Moyu looked at the golden Buddha statue, showing some confusion. He did not reach out to take it, remaining cautious. Lu Zeng landed beside Lin Moyu. This is his golden body relic. Lin Moyu searched his memory but found no information about the golden body relic. Lu Zeng explained, this is a secret technique of the Buddhist clan. The golden body relic has 3 main functions. First, it's used for breakthroughs. Normally, one accumulates the golden body relic, like storing power, to assist in breakthroughs, usually from 6th-wheel to 7th realm. Second, it's used for inheritance. The golden body relic contains the Buddha's heart cultivated throughout one's life and can be passed on to successors. Third, it's used for resurrection. As long as the golden body relic exists, they aren't completely dead and might return to the world one day. However, the third function is just a legend, no one has truly resurrected. The first function is the most apparent and most used. After Lu Zong's explanation, Lin Moyu understood the purpose of the golden body relic. With a grasp, he took the golden body relic into his hand, so, he was close to becoming a seven-wheel ancient Buddha. Lu Zong nodded, pretty much, at least not far off. Lin Moyu smiled, fortunately, I killed him early. If he had become a seven-wheel ancient Buddha, he would have been much harder to kill. A seven-wheel ancient Buddha is akin to a Tao sovereign of the seventh realm, with significantly increased strength compared to a six-wheel. At that point, who would kill whom would be uncertain. Of course, if Lin Moyu used his trump cards, a seven-wheel ancient Buddha would still be insignificant. Lu Zong said, seven-wheel ancient Buddhas are indeed hard to kill, and even if killed, it might not be their true body. Lin Moyu said, please explain, senior. Lu Zong was about to speak when the golden body relic in Lin Moyu's hand suddenly emitted a brilliant light and flew out of his hand. Lu Zong reacted quickly, pulling Lin Moyu back instantly. The golden body relic radiated 10,000 rays of light, transforming into a giant golden Buddha. The giant Buddha looked at Lin Moyu and Lu Zong with cold, indifferent eyes. Lin Moyu felt a chill all over, a sense of danger rising from his heart, but his intuition didn't warn him, so he knew there was no real danger. This feeling was probably from being watched by a powerful entity. After a glance, the giant Buddha quickly disappeared, and the golden body relic fell to the ground, silent. Lin Moyu asked, what just happened? Lu Zong, with a hint of helplessness, said, that's what I was going to tell you. Seven-wheel ancient Buddhas rarely act personally, they create avatars to operate outside. The Buddhist clan's avatars are different from ours. Their avatars can cultivate normally, just like ordinary people. Once they reach a certain level, they can merge with the true body, pushing the true body further. The Buddhist clan has many secret techniques, and this avatar cultivation method is one of them. Lin Moyu understood Lu Zong's words, senior, are you saying the thousand sunlight Buddha I killed was actually an avatar of a seven-wheel ancient Buddha? Lu Zong shook his head, not necessarily, it could also be an avatar of an eight-wheel ancient Buddha. As long as the true body doesn't appear, it's hard to determine. Lin Moyu took a deep breath, it's like hitting the small one and the big one comes, never ending. Lu Zong said, that's how the Buddhist clan is, endless. Now our aura has been marked by that ancient Buddha, and we don't know when he might come for us. The Buddhist clan's actions are often more insidious than any other race, you must be careful. Lin Moyu said, it seems I'll have to visit the Buddhist clan in the future. Lu Zong was shocked, realizing Lin Moyu's thinking was different from ordinary people. A typical Tao sovereign, knowing they were targeted by at least a seven-wheel ancient Buddha, would be terrified and worried. But Lin Moyu didn't seem worried at all, even thinking about how to go there and fight back, asking, why are you targeting me? Lu Zong didn't know what Lin Moyu was thinking, but he said, if you go to the Buddhist clan, be careful. It's said there are some strange things in the Buddhist realm. I don't know exactly what they are, but perhaps the three ancestors do. You could ask them if you get the chance. Lin Moyu smiled, don't worry, if I go, I'll be well prepared. He picked up the golden body relic, does this thing have any other use? Lu Zong shook his head, it's a treasure for the Buddhist clan, but for us, it's useless. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, maybe it's not entirely useless. With a thought, a Buddhist lich appeared beside him. Lin Moyu handed the golden body relic over, is this useful to you? The Buddhist lich looked at the golden body relic, then reached out and grabbed it. The golden body relic softened, turning into liquid and flowing into the Buddhist lich, whose aura began to rise rapidly. Lin Moyu smiled, see, it's not entirely useless. Lu Zong was once again shocked, feeling that in all his years of cultivation, he hadn't been as shocked as he had been in the past half hour. Lin Moyu's methods seemed increasingly mysterious and unpredictable to him. Suppressing his shock, Lu Zong complimented, Mr. Lin, you're amazing. Lin Moyu asked, Senior Lu, does the guild sell golden body relics? Lu Zong shook his head, this thing has no value outside the Buddhist clan, so the guild doesn't sell it. What a pity, Lin Moyu sighed, showing a hint of disappointment. The Buddhist lich's aura quickly rose, with another halo appearing behind it, becoming a four-wheel ancient Buddha. But this wasn't the end, the Buddhist lich's power continued to rise. Lin Moyu, feeling the increasing power of the Buddhist lich, muttered to himself, it seems the golden body relic is a good thing. When I go to the Buddhist clan's territory, I should get more. Lu Zong's mouth twitched, golden body relics aren't common in the Buddhist clan. Lin Moyu looked indifferent, no problem, once I go, they'll become common. Lu Zong seemed to see a vision of the Buddhist clan turning into a sea of corpses and blood. Chapter 2947, 1947. Chapter 2947, Speak more politely to Mr. Lin. The golden body relic left by the Thousand Sunlight Buddha transformed the Buddhist Lich from a 3-wheel ancient Buddha into a 5-wheel ancient Buddha. Although no new spells appeared, the increase in realm significantly enhanced the Buddhist Lich's combat power. Especially the conversion spell, which was extremely effective for influencing and controlling opponents. After consecutively killing 5 ancient Buddhas, Lin Moyu noticed something: the clan seemed a bit poor. The dignified ancient Buddhas surprisingly had no decent treasures. After asking Lu Zong, he learned that the Buddhist clan does have treasures, but ordinary ones are unusable for them. Their treasures emphasize a certain Buddha nature. Buddha nature requires a lot of time to nurture, starting from the material stage. The method is simple: preach to the materials, a process called consecration. Depending on the material's properties and level, the consecration time varies, from a few years to thousands or even tens of thousands of years. After consecration, the materials are then refined. The refining method for Buddhist treasures is also unique, using Buddha light, and the process is slow, taking thousands or tens of thousands of years. The higher the level of the treasure, the more time it requires. To refine a treasure suitable for an ancient Buddha, it takes at least 10,000 years, possibly up to 100,000. Even after refining, a treasure made at the 1-wheel ancient Buddha level would be obsolete by the time one reaches the 4-wheel level, requiring a new one. Thus, the number of Buddhist treasures is extremely limited. There are some passed down, but newly refined ones are rare. Those passed down are usually only found in top Buddhist sects, with only a few 7-wheel ancient Buddhas in the Great Holy Lands possessing them. In the information Lin Moyu purchased, there was only basic information about the Buddhist clan, lacking deeper insights. Lu Zong's explanation enlightened Lin Moyu about the intricacies involved. The matter of the Thousand Sunlight Buddha was settled, and the ancient Buddha behind him wouldn't come for now. 7-wheel and above ancient Buddhas of the Buddhist clan rarely move personally. As for why, Lu Zong wasn't sure, likening it to how 7th realm ancestors rarely make a move. The flying boat crossed vast lands and, after another day of travel, finally reached the destination. Upon seeing the destination, Lin Moyu was somewhat surprised. It was completely different from what he expected. The entrance to a secret treasury was exposed, floating in midair without any mystery. It seemed ready for use. However, around the entrance, houses were built in a special formation, encircling the entrance. From above, it was clear that the houses formed a formation. The materials used for the houses were also unusual, covered in complex patterns. Lin Moyu quickly determined that the formation created by these houses was of the 7th tier. This formation was similar to the one in the Starwind secret treasury. Lu Zong explained, the Ice and Fire secret treasury periodically releases powerful energy, affecting a large area, too strong for those below the Tao Sovereign level to resist. So, this formation was set up to contain the energy and guard the area, preventing others from approaching. Lin Moyu said, these houses don't look like they belong to the human clan. Lu Zong replied, most of the houses belong to the demon clan, with a few belonging to our Lufeng merchant guild. The Ice and Fire secret treasury was first discovered by our guild, but since it's in the northern continent, it's jointly managed by our guild and the northern continent's demon clan. Lin Moyu asked, so, besides the 160 Tao sovereigns from the guild who have been inside, many from the demon clan have also entered? Lu Zong nodded, yes, they have also entered. Lin Moyu continued, how many have gone in? Lu Zong said, hard to say, but far more than us. Lin Moyu's expression turned serious, what's the situation with those people now? Lu Zong said, it's hard to say. The demon clan's situation differs from ours. Their entrants belong to different factions, making post-entry investigation difficult. The 3 ancestors have sent messages, and the demon clan has tried to find some who have entered before. Their cultivation has not progressed over the years, but it hasn't declined either. After hearing this, Lin Moyu understood the general situation. Let's go down first. Their arrival had already attracted some attention. People from the demon clan emerged from a few houses, and Tao sovereigns from the human clan appeared as well. Lin Moyu saw Tao sovereigns from the demon clan, the strongest being 2, both at the 7th realm like Lu Zong. One was from the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger lineage, the other from the Golden Lion lineage. They were considered royalty in the demon clan, part of the superior races. The demon clan is generally divided into superior and inferior races. Superior races have better talent and bloodlines than inferior races. At the same realm, superior races have stronger combat power than inferior races. The Thunder Light Purple Striped Tiger looked at Lin Moyu. Friend Lu, is this the person sent by the three ancestors? A little guy at the Dao Sovereign Second Realm, what's the use? Lin Moyu appeared to be only at the Dao Sovereign Second Realm, which meant nothing in the strength-revering demon clan. The Thunder Light Purple Striped Tiger's eyes showed some disdain, clearly looking down on Lin Moyu. However, Lin Moyu didn't mind. He wouldn't argue with a brainless demon. Lu Zong said, Friend Lei, please speak more politely to Mr. Lin. He is a distinguished guest of the three ancestors and also my savior. Lu Zong was unceremonious, directly retorting. Although he still called him Friend Lei, he might act the next moment. The Thunder Light Purple Striped Tiger chuckled, saying nothing, clearly not wanting to fight Lu Zong. However, Lin Moyu knew that the three ancestors' reputation was more concerning to him. He understood the demon clan's nature well. They preferred using fists over reasoning. If not for the three ancestors' name, he wouldn't be so agreeable. Being at the same seventh realm as Lu Zong, the Thunder Light Purple Striped Tiger naturally wasn't afraid of him. The Dao Sovereign from the Golden Lion lineage looked Lin Moyu up and down, his golden eyes seemingly seeing through him. But his gaze wasn't hostile, and Lin Moyu didn't mind, instead asking Lu Zong, Senior Lu, please introduce us. Lu Zong introduced, this is Lei Xiaokang from the Thunder Light Purple Striped Tiger lineage, Dao Sovereign 7th Realm. This is Jin Jutao from the Golden Lion lineage, Dao Sovereign 7th Realm. From their names, it was clear that although they were from superior races and royalty, they weren't direct descendants. The demon clan has an unwritten rule. Direct descendants of any race have two character names. A three-character name indicates non-direct descent. Lin Moyu greeted them, Lin Moyu of the human clan, greetings to you both. Jin Jutao chuckled, no need for formality. If the three ancestors value you, you must be extraordinary. Lin Moyu replied modestly, Senior, you're too kind. I'm just lucky. Chapter 2948, 2948. Chapter 2948, someone might come looking for trouble. Jin Jutao's attitude was much more polite compared to Lei Xiaokang. As he spoke, his golden hair fluttered in the wind, shining brightly with a noble aura. Lin Moyu exchanged a few pleasantries with him before Lu Zong and Lin Moyu left together. Around the Ice and Fire Secret Treasury, there were a total of 81 houses, forming a formation based on the number 9. Of these, 18 houses belonged to the Lufeng Merchant Guild, but currently, most of them were unoccupied. Including Lin Moyu and Lu Zong, there were only 4 people present. The demon clan had 63 houses, which was normal since this was their territory. Like the Lufeng Merchant Guild, most of their houses were also empty, with only a few demons present. The other 2 Dao sovereigns from the Lufeng Merchant Guild were both at the 6th realm, named Lu Weiguang and Lu Weihui, twin brothers. According to Lu Zong, the brothers had a talent that allowed them to fight together, increasing their combat power tenfold, making them as strong as Lu Zong. Although they didn't know Lin Moyu's identity, they were polite to him due to instructions from the 3 ancestors. After getting acquainted, Lu Zong took Lin Moyu to inspect the Ice and Fire Secret Treasury. The treasury was still closed, with the entrance surrounded by alternating blue and red powers of ice and flame, affecting a 100-meter radius. The area experienced extreme cold and heat, leaving the surrounding land barren. Lin Moyu asked, do the demons usually not come here? Lu Zong replied, the Ice and Fire Secret Treasury will open in a few days, and then there will be more people. Each time it opens, there are 10 slots, 3 of which belong to the Lufeng Merchant Guild. However, we usually don't use all of them. Sometimes, not even one person enters, and recently, we've given all 10 slots to the demon clan. In a few days, when the treasury is about to open, the demons will come, and someone might target you. Lin Moyu smiled, is it because I'm taking one of their slots? What's in the Ice and Fire Secret Treasury that makes them so eager to enter? The information given to Lin Moyu by the 3 ancestors didn't specify what was inside the treasury. But seeing the demons' eagerness, there must be something valuable inside. Lu Zong explained, the demons want to enter for 2 reasons. First, the Ice and Fire Secret Treasury contains heavenly ice and earthly fire, making it a sacred place for cultivation. Unlike us, the demons have bloodline inheritances in addition to understanding the Great Tao. To awaken these bloodlines, they need special environments, making the treasury highly attractive to some demons. Lin Moyu understood this reason, as it was known that awakening certain demon bloodlines could greatly enhance their power. Just this alone was a reason to seek the Ice and Fire secret treasury. Unfortunately, the slots were limited, and many demons wanted to enter, making the slots very precious. They even competed for the slots, with the winners gaining entry. Lu Zong continued, the second reason is that the treasury contains two special materials, heavenly ice stone and earthly fire fruit. These are useless to us humans but can also awaken demon bloodlines. The demons who enter try to collect as much of these materials as possible, earning significant profits upon returning. Our guild's Tao sovereigns have done the same, but for the guild, it's just small money. Lin Moyu said, no wonder the three ancestors didn't mention it in the information. It's useless to humans. These materials, useless to humans, were of no interest to the three ancestors, who only wanted the Ice and Fire Tao stone. The Ice and Fire secret treasury opens every 10 years, lasting for 100 days, and each person can only enter once in their lifetime, with a maximum realm of Tao Sovereign 7th realm. Over the years, the Lufeng Merchant Guild sent 166th realm Tao sovereigns, all of whom returned safely. The demons sent even more, and Lin Moyu believed they also faced issues, but their structure differed from the guild, making follow-up difficult. Facing the unknown, Lin Moyu wouldn't risk his future, but now knowing the cause was a type of illusory bug, he had a solution. Lin Moyu had a way to block these bugs, so he wasn't worried. With 10 days until the treasury opened, Lu Zong arranged for Lin Moyu to stay in a small house. The house wasn't large but had a formation, serving as a node in the larger formation. When the treasury opened, the formation would protect against the power flowing from it. For 7 days, Lin Moyu stayed put, and Lu Zong and the demons remained peaceful. On the 8th day, the quiet was broken, and the area became lively. Many demons arrived, even though the slots were limited. Many came to escort those entering, while others maintained the formation. Lin Moyu stayed inside, unconcerned with the demons' arrival. He only needed to wait for the treasury to open, enter, find the extraterrestrial god, and kill it. Killing the god was his top priority, with the Ice and Fire Tao stone and the illusory bug secondary. However, Lin Moyu's inaction didn't mean the demons wouldn't come to him. That day, many demons arrived, breaking the silence with their noise. Lin Moyu left his house and saw Lu Zong meditating outside. Seeing him there, Lin Moyu asked, Senior Lu, why are you guarding here? Lu Zong replied, some people might disturb your cultivation, so I'm here just in case. Lin Moyu recalled Lu Zong's earlier words about taking a demon's slot. Originally, the guild wasn't going to enter, giving the demons all 10 slots. With Lin Moyu's arrival, the demons lost a slot, and the one who lost it wouldn't be happy. Lin Moyu sat beside Lu Zong. Senior Lu, how many demons have come this time? Lu Zong said, about 100. Lin Moyu was puzzled, even without me, there are only 10 slots. Why so many? Lu Zong laughed, many demons with slots don't come alone, they bring teams for protection. Lin Moyu finally understood, do the demons without slots kill to take them? Lu Zong said, in the demon clan, that's common. The rules only apply within their own lineage. Among their own, there's no slaughter, but that only applies to their lineage. Lin Moyu nodded, understanding that the demon clan's way was somewhat barbaric. While it might produce powerful warriors, it couldn't make the entire demon clan stronger. At that moment, 5 flames descended from the sky, transforming into 5 fiery birds that took human form and approached Lin Moyu aggressively. Chapter 2949, 2949. Chapter 2949, come on, you can make your move anytime. Lu Zong smiled at Lin Moyu, Mr. Lin, trouble has come, but I can handle them for you. Lin Moyu smiled back, no worries, I've been itching for a fight these past few days, so I'll play with them. Seeing Lin Moyu's mindset, Lu Zong didn't stop him and instead said with a smile, then I wish you an enjoyable time. Lin Moyu appeared to be at the Tao Sovereign 2nd realm, but Lu Zong knew how strong he really was. Just a few days ago, Lin Moyu had personally killed a dignified 6-wheel ancient Buddha. Moreover, Lu Zong felt that this wasn't even Lin Moyu's full strength. If Lin Moyu went all out, even Lu Zong couldn't guarantee a win. The few demon clan members in front of them, the strongest being only at the Dao Sovereign 4th realm, with the rest at the 3rd realm, were no match for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu stepped past Lu Zong, taking 2 steps forward to face the newcomers. 5 demons, their bodies fiery red and covered in flames, transformed into humanoid forms, angrily approaching Lin Moyu. They looked fierce, as if ready to devour him. Lin Moyu observed them and noticed that the one letting had the cultivation of a Dao Sovereign 3rd realm. Behind him was someone with a higher realm, yet seemed of lower status. The other 3 were all Dao Sovereign 3rd realm, making a total of 5. Their transformation into humanoid forms wasn't complete, retaining many demon features, such as bird heads and bear bodies, with feathers not fully transformed, indicating they weren't high-ranking in the demon clan. Lin Moyu quickly deduced their identity. They were from the Flame Bird clan, a relatively strong clan within the demon race. While not as powerful as the royal clans, they weren't weak either. The Flame Bird clan members scrutinized Lin Moyu's appearance, and the Dao Sovereign 4th realm member whispered, "Yes, it's him." The leader nodded, "So you're the one who took my slot?" Lin Moyu asked, "Are you the young master of the Flame Bird clan?" He snorted, "Yes, I'm Kai Lai, the young master." "You're just a human at the Dao Sovereign 2nd realm. What right do you have to take my slot?" Lin Moyu chuckled, "You need to understand, the 10 slots for the Ice and Fire Secret Treasury, 2 are reserved for the Lufeng Merchant Guild. We only let you use them when we don't want to come. If we want to come, the slots are ours. You didn't think that just because we didn't come a few times, the slots are yours, did you?" Lin Moyu's voice wasn't loud, but it was firm and irrefutable. For the past few centuries, the Ice and Fire Secret Treasury had opened dozens of times, and the Lufeng Merchant Guild hadn't sent anyone. Their slots naturally went unused, allowing the demon clan to use them. Over time, the demons came to believe the slots were theirs. This time, Lin Moyu was entrusted by the 3 ancestors to enter the treasury, so he took 1 slot, which happened to be Kai Lai's. Kai Lai was dissatisfied, but he couldn't go against the royal clan's decision. The royal clan told him to find Lin Moyu if he wanted the slot. If Lin Moyu agreed to give it up, it would still be his. They even told him Lin Moyu's appearance, location, and realm. So, he came with his clansmen to demand the slot from Lin Moyu. But after Lin Moyu's explanation, they realized the slot originally belonged to the Lufeng Merchant Guild, not them. Despite being reprimanded by Lin Moyu and knowing he was in the wrong, Kai Lai wasn't about to give up the slot easily. He growled, "I don't care about the rules. In our demon clan, the strong are respected. You're just a Dao Sovereign 2nd realm, you have no right to take the slot." Lin Moyu laughed and glanced back at Lu Zong, "And you think you have the right?" Being called trash by Lin Moyu, Kai Lai's expression changed. "Who are you calling trash?" Lin Moyu laughed, "Of course, I'm calling you trash. You're not smart, but surely you can understand words, right? Kid, you're courting death. Daring to insult the young master, don't think you can act recklessly just because you're with the Lufeng Merchant Guild. Young master, don't waste words with him, just kill him." The Flame Bird clan members shouted in anger, feeling insulted as their young master was insulted. Lin Moyu laughed, "You want to make a move?" As he spoke, he glanced back at Lu Zong again, his actions seeming natural yet carrying some deeper meaning. Kai Lai's expression changed drastically, realizing that Lu Zong was a Dao Sovereign 7th realm. Fighting Lin Moyu could mean death without knowing how. Kai Lai wasn't smart, but he wasn't foolish enough to seek death. He quickly said, "This is between you and me, it has nothing to do with others. You took my slot, and according to our demon clan's rules, I challenge you to a duel. The loser gives up the slot." Lin Moyu originally didn't want to bother with Kai Lai but decided to entertain him since he had nothing better to do. Lin Moyu said, "A duel isn't out of the question, but it's unfair to me." Kai Lai snorted fire from his nose, "What's unfair about it?" Lin Moyu said, "The slot is originally mine. Even if I don't agree to the duel, you can't take it. So, if I duel you and lose, I lose the slot. But if you lose, what do you lose to me?" Kai Lai instinctively said, "If I lose, the slot is yours." Lin Moyu shook his head, "The slot is already mine. You can't use my possession as a wager." Kai Lai realized the logic in Lin Moyu's words. Kai Lai asked, "Then what do you want?" Lin Moyu said, "That depends on what you have." Kai Lai scratched his head, unsure of what he had. At this moment, Lu Zeng transmitted a message to Lin Moyu. The ancestral land of the Flame Bird clan has a crimson flame well containing crimson flame essence. Ask for that. Lin Moyu, playing along, said, I want crimson flame essence. Kai Lai's face changed drastically. Impossible, we don't have crimson flame essence. Lin Moyu laughed, it's not that you don't have it, you just don't want to give it up. Kai Lai said, it's not that we don't want to, we really don't have any. The Crimson Flame well has been unstable for the past century, and we can't access the Crimson Flame essence. The clan's supply has long been used up. Then Lin Moyu heard Lu Zeng's voice again and said, in that case, if I win, let me enter your ancestral land once. Kai Lai immediately shook his head, no, you can't enter our ancestral land. Lin Moyu shrugged, then there's nothing to discuss. If you can't provide a wager, there's no need for a duel. You can leave, and I'll pretend you never came. Kai Lai was speechless, unsure of how to respond. At this moment, the Dao Sovereign Fourth Realm clansman beside him said, young master, agree to it. Kai Lai hesitated for a moment, then gritted his teeth and said, fine, I agree. Lin Moyu smiled, good, then let's do it. Come on, you can make your move anytime. Chapter 2950, 2950. Chapter 2950, we give it to you, then it's yours. Lin Moyu took a few steps back, creating some distance. The distance was short, only about 20 meters. For a Dao sovereign, this was almost face to face. Kai Lai said, it's too small here, let's change places. Lin Moyu shook his head, no need, this is big enough to deal with you. If you want to compete, stop talking and make your move. Kai Lai's eyes flared with anger, and he told his clansmen, step back. The clansmen immediately retreated, giving Kai Lai space. Kai Lai let out a low growl, his aura surging as he shed his human form and revealed his true form. He transformed into a giant flame bird, letting out a piercing cry and soaring into the sky. The commotion immediately caught the attention of the major demon clans. The demons rose into the air, looking towards Lin Moyu's direction. Kai Lai circled in the air before transforming into a meteor and crashing towards Lin Moyu. The air burned fiercely, leaving a trail of fire in the sky. The fire line expanded into a fire cloud, turning a large area red. The terrifying aura of a Dao sovereign spread all around. The ground turned to scorched earth, with countless tongues of flame engulfing everything. Kai Lai, as a flaming bird, sped up, crashing directly into Lin Moyu. Boom! The ground seemed to melt, the power of a Dao sovereign covering 1,000 miles. Fortunately, the houses were made of special materials and reinforced with formations, remaining unharmed in the fire. Many spectators, caught off guard, were immediately engulfed in flames, screaming as they dodged. The demon clan was like this, either they didn't fight, or they fought with all their might. This guy, could he be dead? Kai Lai's strike reached the peak of Dao Sovereign Third Realm. This guy is only Dao Sovereign Second Realm. If he doesn't dodge, he's dead for sure. Even with a protective treasure, if he's not dead, he'll be seriously injured. Hard to say, look at that human Dao Sovereign, he doesn't seem worried. The demons discussed among themselves, noticing that Lu Zeng stood amidst the flames, unconcerned. He seemed to be watching a show. As the flames gradually dissipated, the spectators were shocked. Lin Moyu stood unharmed, holding Kai Lai by the neck with one hand. Kai Lai struggled wildly, his wings flapping, and his claws striking Lin Moyu, but they couldn't even tear his clothes. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't escape Lin Moyu's grasp. Lin Moyu smiled, I advise you to stop struggling. A little force, and your neck will break. You don't want to be a headless young master, do you? At these words, Kai Lai stopped struggling. Lin Moyu smiled, admit defeat, and I'll let you go. After a moment, Kai Lai's voice squeezed out from his throat, I admit defeat. Lin Moyu chuckled and released Kai Lai. Kai Lai immediately retreated a few steps, watching Lin Moyu warily. In his eyes, besides wariness, there was fear. This human seemed ordinary but was terrifyingly powerful. His attack had no effect on him. Lin Moyu waved his hand, and a ball of life force flew into the sky, exploding into a gentle rain that fell to the ground. The previously scorched ancient trees regenerated, coming back to life. Everyone was shocked. This demonstrated that Lin Moyu possessed a great Dao with healing abilities, and it was terrifyingly powerful. What kind of spell is this? Is it the great Dao of life? From what I know, no spell has such an effect, it must be the great Dao of life. He has amazing combat power and the great Tao of life. This guy is tough. In the same realm, his combat power must be top-notch. Lin Moyu acted as if he had done something trivial, saying to Kai Lai, some things are yours if they're yours, and you can't force them if they're not. The slots here, if we give them to you, then they're yours. If we don't, you can't take them. When I come out of the treasury, I'll visit your ancestral land, so prepare yourself and don't make a fuss. Kai Lai, like a defeated rooster, left dejectedly, without the momentum he had when he came. The Tao sovereign fourth realm who accompanied him gave Lin Moyu a deep look. However, Lin Moyu didn't care, knowing that the Flame Bird clan wouldn't dare make a move. Moreover, when he visited their ancestral land, they could only welcome him. They couldn't afford to offend the Lufeng Merchant Guild, and the entire demon clan didn't want to offend them. Otherwise, how could the Lufeng Merchant Guild get slots for the Ice and Fire secret treasury? Given the demon clan's nature, it must be because the Lufeng Merchant Guild was too powerful, forcing them to comply. Lin Moyu understood this well, so he didn't care about the Flame Bird clan's feelings. Returning to Lu Zong's side, Lin Moyu asked, Senior, what's the use of Crimson Flame Essence? Lu Zong said, I see Mr. Lin is likely cultivating his physical body. Crimson Flame Essence can enhance the body to some extent. So it's a treasure for enhancing the body, indeed a good thing. Lin Moyu said, Kai Lai said their Crimson Flame well is in an eruptive state. It seems getting Crimson Flame Essence won't be easy. Lu Zong said, Crimson Flame Essence is just a secondary thing. The three ancestors once said that the Crimson Flame well is the real treasure. The Crimson Flame well is an ancient relic, and the Flame Bird clan originally evolved under its influence. During its eruptions, one can bathe in the flames to cultivate the body, with effects better than Crimson Flame Essence. Lin Moyu's eyes shifted. It seems Senior Lu knew the Crimson Flame well was erupting and that the Flame Bird clan had no Crimson Flame Essence. Lu Zong chuckled, if I directly asked to go to the Crimson Flame well, they would have been suspicious, so I had to take a roundabout approach. Given the straightforward nature of the Flame Bird clan, they wouldn't have thought there was such a twist. From the beginning, Lu Zong was targeting the Crimson Flame well, with Crimson Flame Essence as an excuse. Lin Moyu understood Lu Zong's intentions and said, Thank you, Senior. Lu Zong shook his head, no need to thank me for such a small matter, thanking me would be too formal. With that, Lu Zong waved his hand, setting up a tea table. The treasury opens in 2 days. If Mr. Lin is in no hurry to cultivate, how about having some tea and chatting? Lin Moyu smiled, I'd love to. Lu Zong personally brewed tea for Lin Moyu, and the two, like old friends, began to chat. Lin Moyu appeared young, but having read much about the origin continent, he conversed fluently with Lu Zong. A day later, a light flew from afar, transforming into a palm-sized flying boat that landed in Lu Zong's hand. Lu Zong crushed the small boat, which turned into countless rays of light that entered him. Lin Moyu knew this was a way for the Lufeng Merchant Guild to transmit information. After receiving the message, Lu Zong suddenly smiled strangely, things are about to get lively. Lin Moyu asked, what happened? Lu Zong said, the 100 Herb Alliance has come to request slots for the Ice and Fire secret treasury. Lin Moyu curiously asked, what use do they have for the Ice and Fire secret treasury? Chapter 2951, 2951. Chapter 2923, Two Unreasonable Races. Lin Moyu was somewhat surprised by the arrival of the 100 Herb Alliance. The members of the 100 Herb Alliance are mostly plants. Plant-based beings generally dislike fire, although there are a few that can survive in flames, but that doesn't mean they like it. The same goes for ice. Plants also dislike ice. This is the nature of plants, and even if they become powerful enough to resist ice and fire, it doesn't mean they will like it. Lu Zong said, about 300 years ago, 2 mutated members appeared in the 100 Herb Alliance. These two had extremely rare attributes. One was ice, and the other was fire, each cultivating the great Taos of ice and fire. As plant-based beings, their Taos are extremely pure, so their strength is formidable, and they are highly valued by the Alliance leader. In order to further enhance their strength, the Alliance leader wants them to enter the Ice and Fire secret treasury to awaken their bloodlines in the Ice and Fire, further increasing their power. Lin Moyu was surprised, plants have bloodlines too. This is the first time I've heard of it. Lu Zong said, bloodlines are just a term, it doesn't literally mean blood and flesh, but more about inheritance. In the 100 Herb Alliance, many members have ancestral inheritances, and their inheritances are vast, also serving as a continuation of their own lives. For example, there was once a willow tree that awakened its intelligence and eventually became a Tao sovereign. It spread its inheritance across several mountain ranges, creating countless willow trees. In this way, even if it dies one day, as long as its inheritance remains, there might be a chance for revival. Of course, this is just a beautiful imagination. Even if another willow tree inherits its legacy, it is still another life, with different memories, and cannot be considered the same life, let alone a revival. But the 100 Herb Alliance doesn't see it that way. They believe that as long as the inheritance exists, they are still alive, living in another form. Lu Zong, worthy of being a 7th realm ancestor, knows a lot. Lin Moyu asked, the Tao sovereigns of the 100 Herb Alliance have a secret technique called spiritual plant rebirth. What do you think of this technique, senior? Lu Zong said, the 3 ancestors once commented on this technique, saying it seems strong but actually has a huge flaw. This technique, if used outside, is like sending oneself to die. If used internally, it can indeed allow one to live another lifetime. So, as long as they don't die outside, members of the 100 Herb Alliance can indeed live lifetime after lifetime. Lin Moyu said, but I think spiritual plant rebirth has another flaw. To learn it, one must give 1/10 of their fortune to the Alliance leader. That essentially cuts off their path to advancing in the Great Tao. Lu Zong laughed. How many people think about advancing in the Great Tao, especially those in the 100 Herb Alliance? They only think about living one day at a time, and if they die, they live 10 more lives. Even if they cultivate, they do it through time. Lin Moyu laughed heartily. Indeed, if it's about who lives the longest, they certainly have no match. The two chatted, and when it was only half a day before the Ice and Fire's secret treasury opened, the mountain forest shook, and several figures appeared in the distance. The people from the 100 Herb Alliance had arrived, 10 in total, all giant trees. Lin Moyu looked at these giant trees, frowning slightly. These giant trees looked very familiar, similar to the Qingyuan 19 he had killed. Lu Zong said, these are the Qingyuan giant trees from the 100 Herb Alliance. It seems that all have come except the Qingyuan ancestor tree. Indeed, they were from the Qingyuan giant tree lineage, the same as the Qingyuan 19 and Qingyuan 20 brothers he had killed. However, the Qingyuan giant trees that came this time were stronger, with 2 at the Tao Sovereign 7th realm. There were also 8 others between the Tao Sovereign 5th and 6th realms. The Tao Sovereign 7th realm rarely acts, but the 100 Herb Alliance doesn't care about that. On the 2 Tao Sovereign 7th realm Qingyuan giant trees, Lin Moyu saw 2 small grasses. One was entirely blue, exuding a forest chill. The other was entirely red, dancing like a flame. Their realms weren't low, both at the Tao Sovereign 4th realm, standing on the Tao Sovereign 7th realm Qingyuan giant trees. Clearly, these 2 ice and fire grasses held an extraordinary status in the 100 Herb Alliance. Lu Zong suddenly used a transmission. See, those 2 grasses, according to our intelligence, are actually avatars of the 100 Herb Alliance leader. The Alliance leader obtained 2 seeds from beyond the heavens and refined them into avatars, claiming they were mutated members, but that's not the case. However, this matter is too secretive, and we are only speculating, so it can't be taken as truth. Though he said it was speculation, Lin Moyu knew it was likely true. The Lufeng Merchant Guild's intelligence system is very strong, able to obtain all kinds of secret information first. With the arrival of the 100 Herb Alliance, the 2 7th realm ancestors of the demon clan immediately went to greet them, and negotiations began. Clearly, the negotiations weren't pleasant. The 100 Herb Alliance showed no expression, but the changes in their aura revealed the results of the conversation. Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao's faces didn't look good, and their conversation was accompanied by roars. Lu Zong laughed, there's going to be a good show. Lin Moyu waved his hand, taking out a watermelon and a handful of sunflower seeds. He split the watermelon in half. Senior, we have a tradition of eating watermelon and sunflower seeds while watching a show. It adds a lot of fun. Lu Zong seemed very interested. Really? Then I have to try it. The 2 spectators ate sunflower seeds and watermelon, enjoying the show. With their hearing, they could clearly hear what was happening over there. Essentially, the 100 Herb Alliance wanted 4 slots, but Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao refused to give them. Although they still had 9 slots, 4 was too many, almost half. The 100 Herb Alliance was very aggressive, not here to negotiate at all. Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao naturally wouldn't agree. No matter how strong the 100 Herb Alliance was, this was the northern continent, the demon clan's territory. Did they think they could defy the heavens? The Lufeng Merchant Guild was one thing they originally had slots. What was the 100 Herb Alliance? After the negotiations failed, Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao directly attacked, not holding back at all. The demon clan always revered strength, solving problems with fists rather than words. Plans and strategies were useless in front of the demon clan. Fists were more effective. If they wanted slots, they had to defeat them. The battle between Dao Sovereign's 7th Realm ancestors unleashed terrifying power, shaking the land for miles around. The entire land roared and shook, countless beings becoming collateral damage. The demon clan members stayed far away, unable to get close. Even the Qingyuan giant trees below the Dao Sovereign 8th Realm had to retreat. The battle of the 7th Realm ancestors was not something they could intervene in. As spectators, they didn't intervene. They knew that the true deciders of the outcome were the 7th Realm ancestors on both sides. Their fighting was meaningless. Lu Zong pointed, and a shield-shaped treasure flew out, weaving a light screen that enveloped the two of them. They didn't retreat, watching the battle up close. The fight hadn't lasted long when the Ice and Fire secret treasury suddenly roared, spewing a large amount of flame. Lu Zong's expression changed slightly. The treasury is about to open. Mr. Lin, once it opens, rush in immediately. Chapter 2952, 2952. Chapter 2952, if it's optional, then let's not say it. The Ice and Fire secret treasury opens once every 10 years, with only 10 slots available each time. These 10 slots are given on a first-come, first-served basis. Previously, with several 7th Realm ancestors present, everyone had to line up obediently and enter in order. But now, with the sudden intervention of the 100 Herb Alliance, the two 7th Realm ancestors of the Demon Clan and the two from the 100 Herb Alliance have already started fighting, making it difficult to determine a winner. Meanwhile, the Ice and Fire secret treasury has suddenly opened and started spewing flames. Whether the previous queue still holds is anyone's guess. Lu Zong ignored the Demon Clan and simply told Lin Moyu to enter the treasury immediately. In this chaos, it's likely that the Demon Clan will also rush in, rendering the previous order useless. When the Ice and Fire secret treasury opens, it first spews flames, then ice, and finally both simultaneously. Once all the ice and flames disappear, the treasury officially opens. The treasury is already spewing flames, and in 2 minutes, it will switch to ice, and finally, both will spew simultaneously. There are 3 waves in total, lasting 5 to 6 minutes, with some variation each time. Therefore, Lin Moyu needs to be ready at any moment to enter the treasury. The treasury spews a massive amount of flames, scorching everything in its path, far more powerful than the flames Kai Lai had unleashed earlier. The treasury's flames are different from ordinary flames, containing a peculiar power. Lin Moyu felt it wasn't the power of the Great Tao, as the flames contained many impurities, yet their power was immense. The 81 houses surrounding the treasury lit up simultaneously, activating the formation to form a strong defense, confining the flames to a specific area. These houses had been there for many years, withstanding countless openings of the treasury and the flames and ice it spewed. But today was different. Previously, there were people inside the houses to control the formation, greatly enhancing its power. Now, with the 7th Realm ancestors fighting, all the Demon Clan members were forced to retreat, unable to approach the houses, let alone control the formation. As a formation master, Lin Moyu noticed, if no one controls this formation, it might not withstand the treasury's ice and flames. Lu Zong smiled, if it can't withstand, isn't that better? He didn't seem to care and indeed had no reason to. Because Lu Weiguang and Lu Weihui had already entered the houses to control the formation, there would be no issues on their side. The problem would only be on the Demon Clan's side. If their formation couldn't withstand the treasury's ice and flames, it wouldn't collapse but would allow the power to overflow. This would force the Demon Clan to retreat further, giving Lin Moyu a chance to rush in. Unbeknownst to anyone, Lu Zong had already calculated everything clearly. Lin Moyu looked at the Dao sovereigns of the 100 Herb Alliance, who showed no signs of stopping, and then at the 2 grasses on the 7th Realm ancestors. He suddenly understood, the 100 Herb Alliance wants to muddy the waters to send those 2 grasses in. They knew from the start they couldn't get slots, so they'd just force their way in. Lu Zong said, Mr. Lin, you have a keen eye. I think the 100 Herb Alliance's real goal is just that. Lin Moyu laughed, asking for 4 slots as a ruse, sending these 2 grasses in as the real goal. Given the current situation, the demon clan hasn't noticed this. These 2 grasses will surely find a way in. Should we tell the demon clan? Lu Zong laughed, it's optional. If Mr. Lin wants to say it, I'll say it for you. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, since it's optional, let's not say it. Lu Zong laughed out loud, Mr. Lin is right. If it's optional, then let's not say it. The demon clan's affairs are none of our concern. Lin Moyu whispered, each person sweeps the snow in front of their own door, not worrying about the frost on others' tiles. Boom! The flames from the ice and fire's secret treasury suddenly disappeared, replaced by a massive surge of cold air. The areas previously scorched by flames were instantly frozen. Where ice and fire met, everything became extremely fragile. Except for Lin Moyu's side, the demon clan's formation was completely overwhelmed, with cold air leaking out and sweeping into the distance. The demon clan's formation had already collapsed, making it difficult to approach. Only Lu Zong's side remained unscathed. Lu Zong said, this wave of power isn't strong. The final simultaneous burst of ice and flames is the real power, affecting 100,000 miles. Ice and fire are mutually reinforcing and counteracting, capable of enhancing each other. When their power reaches its limit, it will quickly weaken. Mr. Lin, seize that moment to rush in. Lin Moyu said, don't worry, Senior Lu, I understand. Not only did Lin Moyu understand, but many in the demon clan also realized it and were ready. 2 minutes later, the ice and fire's secret treasury roared again. All the coldness vanished in an instant, but before a second had passed, the treasury erupted again, spewing countless icy flames. The 2 opposing forces collided in the void, creating an even more formidable force. The collision of the 2 powers unleashed a force close to the Tao Sovereign's 7th realm. The terrifying power swept across 100,000 miles, forcing the demon clan to retreat further. Only Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao, the 2 7th realm ancestors, could ignore it. The 2 7th realm ancestors of the Qingyuan giant trees were the same. The 4 7th realm ancestors fought fiercely, their power surpassing that of the ice and fire's secret treasury. Lin Moyu was ready, poised to rush in at any moment. The eruption of the treasury lasted 89 seconds, and at the 90th second, the power suddenly weakened. This weakening was silent 1 second, the terrifying power raged, and the next, it vanished. Lin Moyu reacted quickly. As the power disappeared, the wings of the undead unfurled, vibrating madly. He transformed into a flash of lightning, rushing towards the treasury. Confident in his speed and proximity to the treasury, he was sure to be first. At this moment, red and blue lights alternated behind him, intertwining. The 2 grasses with opposing attributes intertwined, their powers colliding, propelling them forward at incredible speed. Behind them, explosions occurred, but their speed left the sounds far behind, making their advance silent. Lin Moyu glanced back and saw the intertwining ice and fire grasses. I didn't expect this. Lin Moyu chuckled and sped towards the treasury. Lei Xiaokang reacted quickly. Although the ice and fire grasses broke through his defense unexpectedly, he wouldn't let them pass easily. Don't think you can escape. With a roar, boundless lightning fell from the sky. The thunder-like purple striped tiger excelled at manipulating lightning. The dense lightning transformed into a sea of thunder, blocking the path of the ice and fire grasses. Lin Moyu chuckled, waved at the grasses as if to say, I'm going in first, good luck, and disappeared into the treasury. The 2 7th realm ancestors of the Qingyuan giant trees roared simultaneously, leaves flying like snow, falling into the sea of thunder. The leaves exploded, creating a rift in the sea of thunder. The ice and fire grasses instantly dashed into the rift, disappearing. Chapter 2953, 2953. Chapter 2953, They must have another purpose. Lin Moyu rushed into the ice and fire secret treasury, and just before entering, he glanced back. He saw the 2 ice and fire grasses being engulfed by the thunder. However, Lin Moyu had a feeling that, despite the thunder coming from Lei Xiaokang, a Tao sovereign of the 7th realm, it still couldn't stop the ice and fire grasses. Behind the ice and fire grasses, a group of demons was also scrambling to seize the opportunity to enter the ice and fire secret treasury. But they were too far away, and under normal circumstances, they wouldn't be able to catch up. However, these matters were not important to him. As Lin Moyu entered the treasury, the world before him turned blue and red. The faint blue represented the extreme cold, while the intense red represented the extreme heat. The two colors alternated before his eyes, colliding and swirling like a storm on either side of his body, generating powerful forces that propelled him through the passage into the treasury's interior. Soon, the blue and red colors in his vision began to separate, moving farther apart and no longer colliding. Before him appeared a vast mist. The mist rose continuously, with large snowflakes falling within it. This mist, besides being humid, carried warmth, not cold at all. The sky turned icy blue, with snowflakes constantly falling from above. The ground was ablaze, a sea of fire. Snowflakes melted quickly upon hitting the ground, evaporating to form mist. Fortunately, the sky was high and the earth wide, so the mist dispersed across the land without becoming too dense. Moreover, the mist concentrated in the middle of the sky, forming a zone between the ground and sky, each about 10,000 meters apart, creating two relatively safe areas for movement. According to the information from the three ancestors, the Dao sovereigns of the Lu Feng Merchant Guild who entered the treasury operated mainly along these two areas. They would also venture into the Sea of Fire or ice layers, but mostly remained in these areas for safety. Both the Sea of Fire and ice layers contained immense power, which even a Dao sovereign of the sixth realm couldn't withstand for long. Lin Moyu pondered, let's test it first. He fell to the ground like a meteor and plunged into the Sea of Fire. The temperature rose rapidly, and the ground beneath the Sea of Fire wasn't ordinary earth but soft like magma. Once stepped on, a force would pull one downward. The flames roasted Lin Moyu, and a rumbling sound emanated from his body. His blood, infused with the power of the great Tao, surged wildly within him. He didn't use the undying golden body or damage transfer, so the flames could harm him. His body was continuously damaged and restored by the surging blood. After about 10 minutes, Lin Moyu burst out of the Sea of Fire, crossed the 10,000-meter space, and entered the mist. In an instant, he emerged from the mist, flying forward and crossing the 10,000-meter space again to enter the ice layer. Switching between flames and ice, his blood continued to roar, and the power of the great Tao coursed through his body. After a few more minutes, Lin Moyu emerged from the ice layer. White light flickered on Lin Moyu's body, and the power of life flowed like water, with his blood continuing to roar. Under the dual effects of the power of life and the great Tao, his damaged body quickly returned to normal. Lin Moyu muttered to himself, no, neither the flames nor the ice can be used to cultivate the body due to the chaotic will they contain. Cultivating the body requires not only strong and appropriate power but also purity. It shouldn't contain personal will, and during the destruction and cultivation of the body, no impurities should be absorbed. The best power is naturally generated, devoid of personal will, or like the thunder in the secret thunder treasury, drawn by a great Tao realm being's life. This is why cultivating the body is extremely difficult, with various requirements that are hard for most to meet. Moreover, as one's realm increases, the requirements also rise. The method for cultivating the body is singular, but reaching the pinnacle is very challenging. Having tested and confirmed that the ice and fire in the treasury couldn't be used for body cultivation, Lin Moyu wasn't disappointed, as such environments are rare and his luck was already good. With only 100 days, Lin Moyu didn't waste time. He released a large number of skeleton generals to scatter in all directions. Besides the blue ice layer in the sky and the red flames on the ground, the skeleton generals searched every area. Even the mist in the sky was searched by the skeleton generals. The eye of the undead opened, beginning the search for targets. Lin Moyu had two targets, the extraterrestrial god and the illusory bug. By now, someone should have entered. After entering the treasury, each person's location was different. With limited time, Lin Moyu couldn't worry about anything else and released millions of skeleton generals to conduct a thorough search of the entire treasury. 100 days may seem long, but it can be very short at times. Gradually, Lin Moyu gained control over the situation in the treasury. In less than half a day, the skeleton generals encountered living beings. They were those who entered later, and as Lin Moyu expected, the demons followed him in. The skeleton generals ignored them, flashing past and continuing to fly into the distance. The treasury's range was vast, and what he had seen was just the tip of the iceberg. A Dao sovereign from the demon clan rushed into the treasury, looking displeased. He originally had a slot to enter the treasury and didn't need to compete, so Lin Moyu's presence didn't affect him. But unexpectedly, the 100 Herb Alliance intervened, forcing everyone to compete for slots. Fortunately, he managed to get in. He hadn't been happy for 2 seconds when a light approached, then flew past him towards the distance. What was that? He was stunned, and upon closer inspection, realized it was a skeleton. Scanning the area, he saw more skeletons flying by, numerous and moving like meteors in all directions. Why are there so many skeletons here? He was puzzled, unable to understand. Not only him, but other demon Dao sovereigns also noticed the skeleton generals. Lin Moyu had dispatched so many skeleton generals that they were easily noticed. But Lin Moyu didn't care. He had his own tasks, different from others. The demon Dao sovereigns, seeing the skeletons, didn't act. Facing the unknown, they wouldn't act rashly. Once the skeletons flew away, they began their own actions, each flying into the ice layers and sea of fire to awaken their bloodlines. 2 days later, Lin Moyu had already discovered 7 demon Dao sovereigns who had entered the treasury. Including me, that's 8, leaving 2 slots. If I'm not mistaken, those 2 slots were likely taken by the 2 grasses from the 100 Herb Alliance. But I haven't found them, so I don't know where they went. Lin Moyu had a vague suspicion that the 2 grasses' purpose in entering the treasury wasn't to strengthen their bloodlines. Activating bloodlines was just Lu Zheng's explanation, and although the Lu Feng Merchant Guild's intelligence was strong, it might not be entirely accurate. Chapter 2954, 2954. Chapter 2954, let's see who can outlast the other. Outside the Ice and Fire secret treasury, the battle between the 7th Realm ancestors had already stopped. The land within a radius of 100,000 miles was devastated beyond recognition. Fortunately, this was the origin continent. If it were like Lin Moyu's previous great world, it wouldn't have withstood the power of the 7th Realm ancestors, and a single battle could have completely destroyed it. No matter how damaged the origin continent gets, it can recover quickly given some time. Once the 10 slots for the Ice and Fire secret treasury were filled, the 7th Realm ancestors naturally stopped fighting. Continuing to fight would be meaningless. Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao now understood what had happened. The 2 members of the 100 Herb Alliance weren't there to demand slots but to deliberately create chaos so that the 2 grasses could enter. At the time, they had overlooked the 2 grasses because, being plants, it wasn't unusual for the Dao sovereigns of the 100 Herb Alliance to have some grasses growing on them. Unexpectedly, these 2 grasses suddenly erupted with powerful force and twisted together, making their power even stronger through the collision of ice and fire, allowing them to rush into the treasury. Although Lei Xiaokang tried to block them with a sea of thunder, he ultimately couldn't stop them and could only watch as they entered the treasury. Once the ice and fire grasses entered the treasury, the 2 7th Realm ancestors of the 100 Herb Alliance simultaneously retreated and stopped fighting. Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao understood what was going on. They felt they had been played and looked very displeased. Lei Xiaokang said in a low voice, "Aren't you afraid you won't make it out of the northern continent?" Jin Jutao also said viciously, "Do you really think our demon clan is easy to bully? Even if your entire 100 Herb Alliance comes, we can wipe you out." For nearly 1,000 years, they had been responsible for this Ice and Fire secret treasury, and today's events were a slap in their faces. One of the 7th Realm ancestors from the 100 Herb Alliance, dragging his massive body, stepped forward. "Friends, don't be angry. It was just a misunderstanding. Qingyuan 3 is here to apologize." The other 7th Realm ancestor also said, "Qingyuan 4 also apologizes. Our actions were due to special circumstances." Lei Xiaokang and Jin Jutao were taken aback. Why were they suddenly so polite after being so aggressive? Lei Xiaokang asked, "Why?" Qingyuan 3 threw out a token, which was purple gold with purple lightning entwined around it, exuding a heavy pressure. Lei Xiaokang recognized the token. "It's the clan leader's token." He asked Qingyuan 3, "How did you get the clan leader's token?" This token came from the clan leader of the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger and wasn't easily obtained. Qingyuan 3 activated the token, which emitted light and projected an image. The image showed a giant purple tiger, the clan leader of the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger. In front of him was a lush ancient tree, looking like a Qingyuan giant tree but even larger. The purple tiger's deep voice said, "Qingyuan clan leader, let's agree on this." The Qingyuan clan leader said, "Agreed. We'll use our own methods to enter the Ice and Fire secret treasury. If successful, the slots are ours. If not, we won't force it." The purple tiger nodded. "Good, it's agreed. Take the token to Lei Xiaokang. But you can only send up to 2 7th Realm members." The Qingyuan clan leader said, "Naturally. The image ended, recording only a few brief exchanges but clearly explaining the previous situation. The clan leader of the Qingyuan lineage of the 100 Herb Alliance had first approached the clan leader of the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger. They agreed that the 100 Herb Alliance could enter the Ice and Fire secret treasury, but they had to find their own way to obtain slots the Demon Clan wouldn't give them directly. If they obtained slots through their own methods, the Demon Clan wouldn't interfere. As for any transactions between the two sides regarding the slots, that was another matter. At least on the surface, the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger's clan leader agreed to the Qingyuan lineage's request. Lei Xiaokang held the token, murmuring, "So that's what happened." It was all an act. He felt helpless with the clan leader's token in hand, he couldn't even be angry. Not far away, Lu Zeng also witnessed the scene. He suddenly realized something. The Ice and Fire grasses from the 100 Herb Alliance might not be there to activate their bloodlines, or the intelligence was wrong. With this thought, a small boat appeared in his palm, silently flying away and disappearing into the sky. Inside the treasury, 3 days had passed, and Lin Moyu had used the skeleton generals to explore a large area. The treasury was vast and incredibly uniform in terrain. It appeared like a sandwich cookie, with the ice layer in the sky and the sea of fire on the ground as the cookie's outer layers. The mist in the middle was the filling. The entire treasury was flat and endless, extending infinitely. In 3 days of exploration, besides the 7 demon Dao sovereigns who entered, Lin Moyu hadn't found any other life forms. There were no extraterrestrial gods, no illusory bugs, not even the 2 ice and fire grasses. Lin Moyu was 90% sure the 2 ice and fire grasses had entered, but they had disappeared. He was also 80% sure that the 2 ice and fire grasses weren't there to enhance their bloodlines. If not to enhance their bloodlines, then what are they here for? The ice and fire grasses are avatars of the 100 Herb Alliance's leader. The seeds used to create them came from beyond the heavens, so the 100 Herb Alliance's leader is likely similar to the 3 ancestors. This means he knows there's an extraterrestrial god in the Ice and Fire secret treasury and that there are Ice and Fire Dao stones. Realizing this, Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. That's right, they came not to enhance their bloodlines but for the Ice and Fire Dao stones. The mysterious leader of the 100 Herb Alliance has the same goal as the 3 ancestors, which is to obtain the Ice and Fire Dao stones. Lin Moyu realized he had grasped the key point and thought even deeper. If the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance and the 3 ancestors are similar, knowing about the Ice and Fire Dao stones in the treasury, why didn't he send someone earlier? Why wait until now? Although the members of the 100 Herb Alliance don't like ice and fire, it doesn't mean they fear them. Dao sovereigns of the 6th realm could certainly come here without issue. This suggests only one explanation. The 100 Herb Alliance's leader knew that even if they came before, they wouldn't find the Ice and Fire Dao stones. He might know things even the 3 ancestors don't. This time, he sent people because of the ice and fire grasses. These 2 grasses, with ice and fire attributes and as his avatars, are equivalent to him being here personally. Given that each person can only enter the treasury once, he must be confident in finding the Ice and Fire Dao stones. Realizing this, Lin Moyu felt enlightened. Everything made sense. The talk of enhancing bloodlines was just a cover, the real goal was the Ice and Fire Dao stones. Lin Moyu smiled. Looks like they're here to compete with me for the stones. Let's see who can outlast the other. On the 10th day in the treasury, the skeleton generals finally made a discovery. Chapter 2955, 2955. Chapter 2955, Experience Can Kill. The skeleton generals flew continuously for 10 days without stopping for a second. After 10 days, they finally reached the edge of the treasury. The treasury wasn't truly boundless, its space was dependent on the space of the origin continent, so there had to be a boundary. The Ice and Fire secret treasury was vast, but Lin Moyu eventually found the boundary. The edge of the treasury was much more chaotic and violent compared to other places. Ice and fire collided here, constantly unleashing tremendous power. The cold might transform into snow or icy meteors, colliding with the sea of destruction. The earth had volcanoes that continuously spewed flames. Along the way, Lin Moyu had seen many volcanoes and eruptions, but none as intense as here. Here, ice and fire were like 2 equally powerful enemies, clashing fiercely. The key wasn't just the collision of the 2 forces but the fact that space would tear during the collision. The torn space was very small, as thin as a hair. Yet, within this tiny space, the skeleton generals saw soul flames. In the small, torn space, there were indeed soul flames. Lin Moyu immediately identified these soul flames as belonging to the illusory-type bugs. These illusory bugs were trying to squeeze through the space cracks. However, their movements were slow, and the space cracks were small, making it difficult for them to get through. Slap. Lin Moyu slapped his forehead, realizing he had been wrong about something. Experience can kill. Lin Moyu realized his mistake, a big mistake. His past experiences with dungeons and secret realms had given him plenty of experience. He had always relied on his experience to solve the mysteries of the treasury. Although his strength had increased, his thinking hadn't kept up. He was still using old methods, which might work most of the time, but there were always exceptions. The Ice and Fire secret treasury was such an exception. Seeing the torn space and the illusory bugs behind it, Lin Moyu finally understood the treasury. This treasury wasn't a single-layer structure. Outside the treasury, there was another layer of space, possibly more than one. The illusory bugs were in another layer of space, and when the treasury opened, they would enter this layer through space cracks. Then they would find living beings to parasitize. The bugs were too small and illusory, so the parasitized beings wouldn't even know. Understanding this, Lin Moyu knew what to do. Multiple spaces wouldn't be a problem for him. The space Great Tao emerged, and Lin Moyu's body began to twist, becoming hazy and eventually semi-illusory. For the first time, Lin Moyu used the true form of the space Great Tao, allowing him to maximize the power of the space Great Tao. With the support of the space Great Tao true form, Lin Moyu's sensitivity to space became incredibly sharp. After some sensing, Lin Moyu confirmed that the Ice and Fire secret treasury indeed had multiple spaces. That's why the Tao sovereigns who entered before couldn't find the Ice and Fire Tao stone. It wasn't in this layer of space. You can't find something that isn't there. Lin Moyu sensed the space nodes, searching for the weakest link in the space. Finding the weakest link would allow him to enter the next layer of space with minimal effort. With his current realm, directly breaking the space was difficult. With the space Great Tao true form, he didn't need to use brute force. Space fluctuations, like ocean waves, were continuously captured by Lin Moyu. Soon, he found the node connecting the two spaces, about 70 million kilometers away. The wings of the undead spread, and Lin Moyu flew towards it like a stream of light. 70,000 kilometers away, in the Sea of Fire, a Tao sovereign from the Flame Bear clan was bathing in the flames, strengthening his bloodline. He looked pleased, his whole body turning red from the heat but feeling quite comfortable. His aura was rising slowly and steadily. His bloodline was strengthening, and it felt great. Suddenly, he looked up at the sky. A stream of light flew from afar, stopping above him. It's that human. He recognized Lin Moyu at a glance. After all, there was only one human in the treasury, hard not to recognize. The Flame Bear muttered, "What's he doing here if he's not cultivating?" While he was puzzled, Lin Moyu suddenly raised his fist and punched the void. The entire space trembled, scattering the mist in the air. The Flame Bear was even more puzzled, punching the mist. Is this guy crazy? What Lin Moyu did next confused him even more. Lin Moyu punched the air repeatedly, causing the space within 1,000 miles to tremble continuously, the flames boiling and the falling snowflakes being swept away to who knows where. Lin Moyu's punches became faster and more urgent. Suddenly, a crisp sound rang out. In the previously empty space, a crack appeared. The Flame Bear was startled, exclaiming, "Space crack." At that moment, he sensed danger, his entire body bristling. He had a talent for sensing danger, which had saved him from death several times. His talent told him he was now in great danger, and the source was the crack before Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's voice rang out, "What are you staring at? If you don't want to die, run." Without a word, the Flame Bear screamed and ran. A small volcano stood before him, which he smashed through. With flames trailing behind him, he rushed into the Sea of Fire, fleeing into the distance. Lin Moyu chuckled, "He runs fast." The danger the Flame Bear sensed came from the space crack before Lin Moyu. Behind the space crack, illusory bugs were quickly squeezing out. Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't let them out. The best way to deal with illusory things is to use illusory power. In an instant, a bug had already emerged. His blood roared, the power of the Great Tao emerged, and Lin Moyu slapped it like a fly. Slap. With a sound only he could hear, the bug was smashed to pieces. Seeing the power of the Great Tao working, Lin Moyu felt reassured. He continued punching, rapidly expanding the space crack that was about to close. More bugs crawled out, and the power of the Great Tao surged, transforming into giant swatters that smashed all the bugs, leaving none to escape. Lin Moyu realized these bugs were actually very fragile. Just a light touch with illusory power could kill them. Once the space crack was large enough, Lin Moyu entered it. Before him appeared another world, a virtual space with nothing but emptiness. The entire space felt somewhat similar to the soul void. There was no direction here, making it easy to get lost. Compared to the soul void, this space at least had a reference point, the bugs. After entering the space, Lin Moyu's eye of the undead scanned the area, and without a word, he charged towards the direction with the most bugs. Chapter 2956, 2956. Chapter 2956, found the queen bug, escaped quickly. In the directionless space, the bugs became the best guides. The more bugs there were, the more likely the queen bug would be present. Finding and killing the queen bug would lift the curse on the 160 Dao sovereigns of the Lufeng Merchant Guild. Like the queen bug of the insect clan, it could produce countless offspring. No matter how many offspring died, it didn't affect the queen bug. But once the queen bug died, all offspring would perish. Lin Moyu believed his judgment was correct. These illusory bugs should follow the same principle. He had discussed this with the three ancestors and was mostly certain. To capture the leader, first capture the king. Lin Moyu's task was to find and kill the queen bug. The power of the great Dao propelled his blood, and Lin Moyu charged through the space, shattering any bug he touched. In this space, there was no direction or distance, and Lin Moyu had no idea how far he had traveled or how many bugs he had killed, only that their numbers kept increasing. These bugs had no intelligence and didn't understand death, they only knew how to parasitize. Since Lin Moyu entered this layer of space, the bugs started swarming towards him, heedless of their own lives. Lin Moyu frowned. Where did those two grasses go? They didn't enter this space. Did they have another path? If the two grasses had entered this space, the bugs would have been divided, not all coming for him. This suggested one explanation: the two grasses weren't in this space. They might have been here before but weren't now. But the ice and fire grasses didn't understand the space great Dao, so how did they enter and leave this space? Lin Moyu sensed that the treasury had multiple layers of space, requiring passage through each. Unless they know the correct path. As avatars of the 100 Herb Alliance leader, the ice and fire grasses knowing extra information was normal. Lin Moyu didn't dwell on it, he had to kill bugs until he found the queen bug. This was his promise to the three ancestors: if he encountered it, he had to keep his word. Lin Moyu, like a god of slaughter, a god of bug extermination, fought his way to the bugs' lair. The space was filled with bugs, unimaginably numerous. The true form of the great Dao roared, and Lin Moyu pushed his blood to the limit, unleashing it. His blood transformed into a dragon, sweeping forward, shattering countless bugs. How can there be so many? Lin Moyu muttered, thinking the queen bug must be insane to produce so many bugs. What is this thing trying to do? Lin Moyu thought the queen bug was either crazy or sick. The dragon of blood cleared the way, and Lin Moyu fought his way into the bug's nest. Countless bugs swarmed out, emitting sharp screeches. The bugs were small, but their cries could shake the soul. Illusory bugs pounced from all directions, but Lin Moyu's blood shook, shattering them. More bugs swarmed, realizing their numbers meant nothing to Lin Moyu, and began merging into a giant bug. Lin Moyu didn't care about its size, punching again, the dragon of blood crashing into it. The bug roared, its tongue shooting out like an arrow, colliding with the dragon. Boom! Lin Moyu's body trembled, his dragon of blood repelled. The bug's tongue shattered but was quickly repaired by more bugs. It's getting stronger. Lin Moyu didn't expect the fragile bugs to become so strong when combined. In his palm, fortune gathered into a sword of fortune. The sword of fortune slashed out, followed by another punch, the dragon of blood merging with the power of the great Dao, charging out. The sword of fortune appeared before the bug, stabbing 3 times. The bug screamed, its massive body slashed by the sword of fortune. The dragon of blood followed, smashing the bug to pieces. Once the bug lost its combined strength, it became fragile again, quickly reduced to dust by the dragon of blood. Lin Moyu, with a hint of disdain, continued his slaughter. He knew he was in the bug's nest and would soon find the queen bug. The dragon of blood rampaged, leaving nothing alive. Finally, Lin Moyu reached the deepest part of the nest, where a golden light entered his view. The queen bug. Lin Moyu finally saw the queen bug. It looked like a giant centipede, with thousands of legs, each with countless pores. Illusory bugs continuously flew out of these pores. It produced trillions of bugs, enough to parasitize an entire continent's worth of life. The queen bug sensed Lin Moyu's arrival and let out a screech. The screech pierced the soul like a sword, making Lin Moyu's soul defenses tremble, causing him to shudder and momentarily freeze. In that instant, the queen bug turned to flee, its antennae slicing through space like scissors, diving in. When Lin Moyu regained his senses, the queen bug was halfway through. Meanwhile, many illusory bugs merged into two giant bugs, charging with claws bared. Lin Moyu snorted, quickly forming two swords of fortune, slashing out. Simultaneously, he punched twice, the dragon of blood emerging, following the swords of fortune towards the bugs. As before, the swords of fortune slashed the bugs, and the dragon of blood crushed them. Lin Moyu acted swiftly and ruthlessly, killing the blocking bugs in an instant, but the queen bug had already escaped into another space, leaving only part of its tail. Lin Moyu couldn't act in time, so he used the Great Dao Lock. A wisp of the Great Dao of Fortune landed on the queen bug, locking onto it. The queen bug entered another space, the space crack closing. The true form of the space Great Dao emerged, and Lin Moyu became semi-illusory. He sensed the space, knowing the ice and fire secret treasury had many layers and he needed to follow the Great Dao Lock to track it. It can really run. The Great Dao Lock pointed the way, and the queen bug, with its space-cutting ability, fled quickly, already far away. Lin Moyu wanted to chase but found it difficult to break the space without finding the connection point. It was like moving from the first floor to the fifth. The queen bug could take the elevator, while Lin Moyu had to find the stairs on each floor. If Lin Moyu's realm were higher, reaching the Dao sovereign fifth realm, he could directly smash the space. Lin Moyu felt helpless. As he sensed the space connections, he was surprised to sense the aura of the ice and fire grasses. Chapter 2957, 2957. Chapter 2957. That alliance leader has been here before. While tracking the queen bug, Lin Moyu suddenly sensed the presence of the ice and fire grasses. By this time, the queen bug had already escaped far away, separated by several layers of space. Lin Moyu wasn't worried with the Great Dao Lock. No matter how much the queen bug fled, he could find it. Knowing that the queen bug could cut through space, it wouldn't be so easy for it to escape next time. Lin Moyu was more curious about what the two ice and fire grasses were up to. Meanwhile, he had another question. Was this queen bug the one the three ancestors referred to, the special pet of the extraterrestrial god? When he saw the queen bug earlier, he didn't feel any aversion. If it were the extraterrestrial god's pet, he should have felt an aversion. Could it be that this queen bug isn't the pet of the extraterrestrial god? Or does it have a way to deceive the Great Dao? Lin Moyu felt the first possibility was more likely. Deceiving the Great Dao was extremely difficult. However, since it was a special divine pet, it wasn't entirely impossible. He passed through the void space and found the connection point to the next layer of space. Punching out, the space Great Dao roared, and his fist, imbued with spatial power, opened a passage, which Lin Moyu entered headfirst. Before him was a bright scene, with a rich red color rushing towards him, revealing a sea of fire. In the ice and fire secret treasury, ice and fire were fundamental. This sea of fire was much denser than the outer layer, with a much higher temperature. The first layer of space is the world of ice and fire. The second layer is the void world of those bugs. The third layer has become a world of fire. Lin Moyu murmured to himself, sensing that the flames in this space seemed different. They were stronger, hotter, and contained more chaotic power. The sea of fire seemed to contain countless wills, and he knew without trying that the flames here couldn't be used for body cultivation. Scanning the surroundings, he saw a blue light in the distance. Lin Moyu immediately flew towards the blue light. The red flames began to recede, and the blue light filled his vision. The color of the flames turned blue, with a hint of purple, making the flames more noble and terrifying. Lin Moyu stood at the edge of the blue flames, not daring to approach, feeling they were unsafe. The blue flames' terrifying nature exceeded his limits. Especially the faint purple light within the blue flames, which Lin Moyu felt was deadly. He knew that if it touched him, he might be reduced to ashes instantly. With a serious expression mixed with anticipation, he thought, this is the true Great Dao fire, not a spell flame borrowed from the Great Dao's power, but the real Great Dao fire, the fundamental power of the Great Dao. Even for a Great Dao realm, truly wielding the Great Tao Fire is not easy. The Great Tao Fire has no impurities, extremely pure, suitable for body refinement, but my body can't withstand it. He looked forward to the day when his body could be strong enough to use the pure Great Tao Fire for body refinement. But for now, he could only look and imagine, not touch. Lin Moyu followed the edge of the blue and red flames to the position he had sensed earlier. After flying tens of thousands of kilometers through the flames, he reached his destination. Lin Moyu carefully sensed, confirming his earlier perception was correct. The ice and fire grasses stayed here. They, like me, didn't dare to go in. It seems the ice and fire grasses also have limits and fear the Great Tao Fire. Lin Moyu's mind stirred, and the true form of the Time Great Tao appeared. A surge of time power flowed, performing a time reversal on this area. The true form of the Time Great Tao allowed him to more easily harness its power. A hazy Great Tao appeared, with a turbulent river of time flowing from the distant past to the distant future. The Time Great Tao carried the river of time, recording all past events of the origin continent. The light of the Great Tao fell, retrieving the events that occurred in this area from the river of time, displaying them before Lin Moyu. This time reversal didn't need to go far back, at most 10 days, which was not difficult for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu saw the ice and fire grasses arriving here 3 days ago. How they got here was unclear. The ice and fire grasses intertwined, the power of ice and fire merging, enhancing each other's strength. Lin Moyu understood that the two grasses were avatars of the 100 Herb Alliance's leader. Due to their different attributes, they appeared as two, but they were actually one entity. Through time reversal, Lin Moyu saw the ice and fire grasses staying here for a whole day. Several times they tried to enter, but upon touching the blue flames, they immediately retreated. The blue flames were also harmful to them. Lin Moyu clearly saw the edges of the grasses being burned by the blue flames, and upon contact, the ice part exploded with steam. The blue flames were too hot. The fire part could endure a bit, but the ice part would be incinerated. Even in the red flames, the ice grass had to rely on the fire grass to remain unharmed. Unable to withstand the blue flames, the purple heavenly Tao fire was out of the question. The strands of Great Tao fire roamed the blue flame world, and touching them meant certain death. After a day, the ice and fire grasses finally left, seemingly unwilling, looking back repeatedly. Lin Moyu was curious why they came here. They must have had a purpose. The time reversal locked onto their departure time, and he tracked their direction. After flying a few kilometers, they suddenly ascended and disappeared into space. Lin Moyu examined the departure point of the ice and fire grasses, using the space Great Tao to sense, and finally discovered a clue. There was a very hidden spatial passage here, difficult to detect, leading directly to the next layer of space. They must know something. Such a hidden spatial passage, even I found it hard to sense, but they knew clearly. Could it be that the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance has been here before? Lin Moyu felt cautious, sensing that this matter wasn't simple. He returned to where the ice and fire grasses had stayed, wanting to see why they were there. As avatars of the 100 Herb Alliance's leader, they wouldn't waste a day here without reason. Standing there, Lin Moyu looked into the blue flames, searching carefully, leaving no stone unturned. Finally, he saw something unusual in the blue flames. Amidst the gaps where the purple light moved, Lin Moyu saw a bit of dark blue substance. These substances were as fine as powder, dark blue in color, barely noticeable in the blue flames. Lin Moyu looked at the dark blue powder and suddenly understood what it was. Chapter 2958, 2958. Chapter 2958, Firestorm, Narrow Escape. The ice and fire grasses wanted these dark blue powders. More accurately, it was the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance who wanted them. Lin Moyu looked at the dark blue powders and muttered, the blue flames here likely come from a Great Tao realm expert who cultivated the flame Great Tao. The flames of that Great Tao realm expert, when in contact with the purple Great Tao fire, were influenced and gradually produced these dark blue powders. These powders likely contain the power of the Great Tao fire, making them top-tier materials for the flame Great Tao. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the Fire Tao stone within the Ice and Fire Tao stone. So apart from this world of flames, there should be a world of ice containing a similar substance. These substances, under certain conditions, merge to form the Ice and Fire Tao stone. Lin Moyu believed his speculation was correct. As he was thinking, the blue flames surged, transforming into a fiery tornado that shot straight into the sky. At the top of the fiery tornado, the space barrier shattered, and the tornado carried some dark blue powders into another layer of space. Immediately after, the entire sea of fire began to boil, with more and more blue flames shooting upwards. A massive suction force suddenly emerged, pulling even the red flames into it. A firestorm began to unfold in this space. Lin Moyu's face changed drastically as the suction force of the firestorm was incredibly strong, making it difficult for him to maintain his position. If he got caught in it, he would surely die. At that point, even hundreds of resurrections wouldn't be enough. The wings of the undead spread wide, and the true form of the power Great Tao erupted as Lin Moyu flew towards the distant space passage without looking back. His target was the space passage the ice and fire grasses had previously used. The immense suction force pulled at him, trying to drag him into the sea of fire. The wings of the undead flapped continuously as he flew forward with all his might. At this moment, Lin Moyu used all his strength. The short distance of a few kilometers, which would have taken a blink of an eye under normal circumstances, now seemed impossibly far. With no other choice, Lin Moyu fully unleashed the true form of the power Great Tao. His blood roared incessantly, and his immense power clashed against the suction force. Lin Moyu slowly made his way towards the space passage. The suction force grew stronger, and the firestorm intensified, causing Lin Moyu's speed to drop rapidly. It took him 5 full minutes to cover less than 10 kilometers, finally reaching his destination. By this time, the firestorm behind him was raging fiercely, pulling the distant red flames towards it, nearly engulfing the entire space. Countless flames struck him, feeling like heavy punches landing on his body. He had reached the space passage, but the last 100 meters seemed insurmountable. The flames pushed him back, and the suction force grew stronger, making the final 100 meters feel like an insurmountable chasm. Lin Moyu gritted his teeth against the fiery onslaught, letting out a roar. His body became hazy and ethereal as the true forms of the Space Great Tao and the Time Great Tao simultaneously empowered him. The Space Great Tao and Time Great Tao erupted together, creating a chaotic time-space where the incoming flames were trapped in another dimension. Lin Moyu's pressure lessened, and he seized the opportunity, the wings of the undead flapping wildly, propelling him through the last 100 meters and into the space passage. After a brief transmission, Lin Moyu emerged from the other end of the space passage. A biting cold wind greeted him, shifting from the previous scorching heat to extreme cold in an instant. Even Lin Moyu found it hard to adapt at first. He took a deep breath, golden flames flowing over his body, dispelling the previous heat. "I finally made it out. That was a narrow escape." His words carried a hint of relief. He had almost died in there. At this moment, his body was covered in wounds. Using the true forms of the Space and Time Great Taos simultaneously, combined with the Power Great Tao, had put immense pressure on him, pushing his soul and body to their limits. His soul was slightly injured, and this reflected on his body, creating numerous wounds. The wounds were healing rapidly, and both his soul and body would soon be restored to their original state. Lin Moyu took a deep breath and began to survey this world. It was a world of ice, with extreme cold stripping all life from the land, leaving a blindingly white expanse. The whiteness was so intense it was hard to look at directly. Suddenly, a wind blew, stirring up a flurry of white sand in the white world. Countless tiny ice fragments were lifted from the ground by the wind, flying into the distance. This scene added a hint of vitality to the monotonous world, though just a hint. This wind carried death. The terrifying cold was challenging even for Lin Moyu. He had to activate the true form of the Power Great Tao, with his blood roaring continuously, to resist the cold. When the temperature drops to a certain point, it's more terrifying than the heat of flames. He tried releasing a skeleton general, which was instantly covered in a layer of white frost. The skeleton general, clad in the bloody bone Great Tao, resembling a suit of blood-red armor, was quickly covered by white ice sand and shattered. In just a few seconds, the skeleton general was frozen into an ice sculpture, unable to move. Not only the skeleton general, but Lin Moyu also found his Power Great Tao true form struggling to hold on. The speed of his blood circulation was gradually decreasing, and the Power Great Tao true form was also affected. If this continued, the Power Great Tao true form wouldn't last long. The swirling ice sand carried a powerful and chaotic force, silently freezing everything. Lin Moyu's mind stirred, and the true form of the undying Great Tao unfolded. Using the power of the undying Great Tao to assist the Power Great Tao true form, he placed the power of death on the outermost layer, using its corrosive properties to resist some of the ice sand's effects. Meanwhile, the power of life helped accelerate his blood circulation. With the dual support of the two great Tao true forms, Lin Moyu felt slightly better. Although his soul and body were under heavy pressure, at least he didn't have to worry about freezing to death here. Only now could Lin Moyu truly discern direction. The surroundings were a blinding white, with nothing but flying ice sand. However, this didn't faze Lin Moyu. He sensed the residual aura in the space. The ice and fire grasses had been here, leaving behind a corresponding aura. Lin Moyu was certain that the ice and fire grasses knew where to go, or more accurately, the alliance leader knew where to go, and he just needed to follow. Soon, Lin Moyu found the aura left by the ice and fire grasses and immediately tracked it. Through the flying ice sand, Lin Moyu didn't know how far he traveled, but he finally reached his destination. What he saw was an icy ocean. Chapter 2959, 2959. Chapter 2959. Since you don't want to leave, then you don't have to. In the world of ice where everything is frozen, the sudden appearance of an ocean is quite strange. A layer of cold air floats on the ocean, seemingly indicating that the seawater is very cold. When the seawater hits the shore, it immediately freezes into ice, merging with the icy land. Lin Moyu arrived about 100 meters from the shore, where the ice and fire grasses had previously been. They lingered here for a while and didn't leave immediately. Lin Moyu stood there, looking into the ocean. The seawater was transparent, with waves rolling, and within it, faint green lines flowed. Upon seeing the green lines, Lin Moyu's soul felt a chill, as if even his soul was about to freeze. The power of the Ice Great Tao. These green lights belong to the power of the Ice Great Tao, capable of freezing most things in the world. The seawater, too, was transformed by the Ice Great Tao, with a terrifyingly low temperature that even he couldn't withstand. The difference was that the ocean was created by a Great Tao realm expert, while the green light was the power of the Ice Great Tao itself. Undoubtedly, the green light could be used to cultivate the body, but not now with his current physical state. Touching it would mean death. Lin Moyu continued to observe the ocean, knowing that the ice and fire grasses lingered here for a reason. Finally, he saw some powder floating up and down with the waves on the ocean. Just one glance, and he knew these powders were part of the composition of the ice and fire Tao stone. The deep blue powder containing the power of the flame Great Tao and the transparent powder containing the power of the ice Great Tao merged to eventually form the ice and fire Tao stone. Both the three ancestors and the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance wanted to obtain the ice and fire Tao stone. Lin Moyu didn't know what the ice and fire Tao stone was used for, but he was sure it contained extremely pure Great Tao power and must be of great use. Having learned from his previous experience, Lin Moyu didn't linger by the sea but continued following the aura of the ice and fire grasses to another location. This was about 10,000 meters from the ocean, where Lin Moyu found a space passage. The ice and fire grasses had left through this passage. Boom! Suddenly, the sound of the waves grew louder. In the distant sea, a waterspout appeared. Countless seawater was lifted, turning into ice blocks in the air, then falling like raindrops. The entire space filled with cold, and the temperature plummeted. The power of death that Lin Moyu had placed on the outermost layer began to flow sluggishly and started to freeze. Lin Moyu's expression changed. This scene was very similar to the situation in the previous world of flames. Without hesitation, he rushed into the space passage, choosing to leave as the best option. Lin Moyu decisively and without hesitation bid farewell to the fourth layer of the ice and fire secret treasury. In the fifth layer, Lin Moyu still found himself in an icy world. But the temperature wasn't as low as in the fourth layer. It felt like an ordinary winter, and even without using his Great Tao true form, Lin Moyu could move freely here. The main reason was that the low temperature here didn't contain the power of the Great Tao, so it couldn't freeze him to death. The fifth layer, if I'm not mistaken, is where the powers of fire and ice will converge to form the ice and fire Tao stone. As for the location of the convergence, Lin Moyu's lips curled slightly. The ice and fire grasses had become his best guide. As long as he followed them, he wouldn't go wrong. Lin Moyu sensed the aura of the ice and fire grasses and followed the path they had taken. Soon, he left the icy world and entered a forest. The forest was dense with ancient trees, seemingly untouched for countless years, exuding a primitive aura. As Lin Moyu stepped into the forest, he stopped. His intuition told him he was being watched. This forest should have been arranged by the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance. He really has been here before, maybe more than once. The leader of the 100 Herb Alliance was mysterious, likely a great Dao realm expert like the three ancestors. It was normal for him to have visited here and left some arrangements. At this point, even if discovered, Lin Moyu had no choice but to press on. He continued following the aura left by the ice and fire grasses. The aura grew weaker as if purified by the forest. If not for Lin Moyu's extraordinary intuition, he would have lost the trail. Passing through the forest, a wave of heat greeted him as he entered a fiery land. There were many barren mountain peaks, each with flowing lava. Between the worlds of ice and fire lay an ancient forest, creating a peculiar environment. Beyond the volcanic range lay another group of ancient forests, lush mountains, one after another. Beyond the ancient forest was another icy land. The environment of the fifth layer was peculiar, alternating between cold, forest, fire, and forest. Lin Moyu didn't know how far he had traveled, how many icy and fiery lands he had crossed, but he knew he was heading in the right direction. The powers of ice and fire were gradually strengthening. The great Dao power, which wasn't present initially, began to appear. Now, not only were the ice and fire grasses guiding him, but the great Dao power was also showing him the way. Lin Moyu traversed mountains and valleys without flying. Since the ice and fire grasses didn't fly, he didn't either. The rules of the treasury were unpredictable, and there must have been a reason the grasses didn't fly. Who knew what dangers might lurk in the air? After walking for over 10 days, Lin Moyu stopped. In the lush ancient forest, an ice and fire grass came into view. The ice and fire grass stood on a mountain peak, no longer a small grass but incredibly large. The ice and fire grass was over 100 meters tall, with a thick body, the two grasses intertwined, appearing to have fused. Lin Moyu knew he had been discovered the moment he entered the ancient forest, so he wasn't surprised to find the ice and fire grass waiting for him. "Human, are you from the Lufeng Merchant Guild?" A majestic voice rang out like thunder. Lin Moyu replied, "More or less, the three ancestors sent me." Although he wasn't from the Lufeng Merchant Guild, being entrusted by the three ancestors, he could be considered part of it. Upon hearing the three ancestors, the ice and fire grass snorted coldly. "That old guy is still thinking about the ice and fire Dao stone." Lin Moyu smiled. "If I'm not mistaken, you should be the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance, right?" The ice and fire grass neither confirmed nor denied, saying in a low voice, "I won't kill you out of respect for that old guy, but leave immediately." When separated, the ice and fire grass had the cultivation of the Dao sovereign fourth realm. Now, united, its realm had risen to the Dao sovereign fifth realm. In terms of cultivation alone, it was much stronger than Lin Moyu. However, Lin Moyu remained unfazed. "I was entrusted by the three ancestors to find a way to obtain the ice and fire Dao stone. Leaving now wouldn't be appropriate." The ice and fire grass said in a low voice, "Don't want to leave? Then die." With those words, the ice and fire grass suddenly spewed a ball of flames, transforming into a giant dragon charging at Lin Moyu. It attacked without warning, decisive and ruthless, as expected of the leader's avatar. Since Lin Moyu didn't want to leave, then he wouldn't have to. Chapter 2960, 2960. Chapter 2960, inflict 1,000 damage on the enemy, suffer 200 yourself. The fire dragon charged towards Lin Moyu. The terrifying power of the flames turned the entire ancient forest into scorched earth. Instinctively, Lin Moyu wanted to retreat. Without knowing the opponent's methods, he chose to temporarily avoid the confrontation. Suddenly, a mass of ice exploded in the sky, transforming into a rain of ice falling from above. The temperature around Lin Moyu plummeted, instantly plunging him into an icy world, slowing his movements significantly. Lin Moyu felt a numbness as the power of the ice invaded his bloodline, trying to freeze him to death. The true form of the great Dao of power erupted, his blood roared, and Moyu quickly shook off the cold. The fire dragon was already upon him. It was too late to dodge, so he simply punched the fire dragon. Boom! Lin Moyu was sent flying. The fire dragon's power was immense, surpassing Lin Moyu. The fire dragon continued to chase Lin Moyu, quickly catching up and pushing him back. At this moment, the fire dragon collided with the ice rain, incompatible like water and fire, exploding on the spot. Lin Moyu was blown away on the spot. Ice fire grass sneered, "Since you don't want to leave, then stay here." In his understanding, Lin Moyu being blown away meant that even if he wasn't dead, he was seriously injured. Lin Moyu was blasted 1,000 meters away, breaking several giant trees before coming to a stop. The giant trees collapsed, raising dust, and Lin Moyu stood up in the dust, unscathed. Ice Fire Grass couldn't believe it. You're actually fine. Golden light flowed over Lin Moyu's body. With the undying golden body and the great Tao of power, he could withstand attacks from a Tao sovereign of the fifth realm. He was only blown away by the explosive force of the ice and fire collision, not injured. Lin Moyu said, "Are you disappointed? Don't worry, you'll be even more disappointed, even desperate, in a moment." With a snap of his fingers, a massive army of skeleton generals appeared in the mountain forest. The skeleton generals were only at the Tao sovereign third realm, not very high, incomparable to Ice Fire Grass, but there were too many of them. Lin Moyu released tens of millions of skeleton generals, densely packed, occupying the entire mountain forest. Ice Fire Grass was visibly startled, his massive form trembling several times. "How do you have so many puppets?" Lin Moyu sneered without answering. The skeleton generals launched an attack, charging towards Ice Fire Grass, swinging their long swords. Great Tao Spell, White Bone Blood Sword. In an instant, a bloody light soared into the sky, and countless bloody white bone paths appeared, evolving into a vast sea of blood, terrifying beyond compare. The bloody sword light simultaneously shone on Ice Fire Grass. The skeleton general's white bone blood sword was a lock-on attack. Once locked, it was unavoidable. Earlier, when Ice Fire Grass attacked, Lin Moyu had already used a wisp of fortune power to lock Ice Fire Grass with the Great Tao. Ice Fire Grass erupted with pure white light. The cold air surged. The cold air emerged from within, forcibly dispersing all the skeleton generals' attacks. By now, the skeleton generals had already reached its side, their sharp bone swords slashing down. Ice Fire Grass erupted with cold air, instantly freezing countless skeleton generals into ice, and in the next second, the ice shattered, killing countless skeleton generals on the spot. Ice Fire Grass, shrouded in cold air, spoke in an icy voice, "No matter how much trash there is, it's useless." Lin Moyu chuckled softly, not refuting. Behind him, Buddhist light shot straight into the sky, and the Buddhist lich appeared. Spell. Conversion. Golden light shone brilliantly, 5 halos simultaneously flashed, and a golden Buddha appeared in the sky. Amitabha, put down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha on the spot. Benefactor, you are destined with this Buddha. The voice of the Buddhist lich carried a strong allure, and Ice Fire Grass suddenly froze, standing still on the spot. Lin Moyu then pointed, and the skeleton hell emerged. At this time, Ice Fire Grass was bewitched by the Buddhist lich, temporarily losing the ability to move. As soon as the skeleton hell appeared, it dragged it into the magma. Ice Fire Grass had fire attributes, so the hell magma was like bathing in warm water, unable to harm it. But the hell fiends, who eat everything, no matter how strong the defense, given enough time, could gnaw a hole through you. The hell fiends pounced on Ice Fire Grass, gnawing madly, and in the blink of an eye, Ice Fire Grass was already covered with hell fiends. At this moment, the other shore flower bloomed with purple light, further weakening Ice Fire Grass's aura. Accompanied by the sound of teeth grinding, the cold air on Ice Fire Grass rapidly diminished. Ice Fire Grass's power was indeed strong, even the hell fiends needed quite a while to gnaw through. Lin Moyu held 2 swords of fortune, one pure white, the other pitch black. The 2 swords struck together, the pure white sword of fortune slashed 3 times, weakening Ice Fire Grass's fortune. The pitch black poison sword directly pierced Ice Fire Grass's fortune, causing its fortune to continue to decline. Lin Moyu frowned slightly, sensing the strong fortune of Ice Fire Grass. He knew it was related to the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance, as Ice Fire Grass was its avatar, naturally inheriting the leader's fortune. The Tao sovereigns of the 100 Herb Alliance had to hand over 1/10 of their fortune for the reincarnation of spiritual plants. One can imagine how strong the leader's fortune of the 100 Herb Alliance is. But it doesn't matter, if 1 sword doesn't work, then 2, if 2 don't work, then 10, 100 swords. Fortune that isn't your own will never be yours. If it's your own fortune, it can recover even if damaged. But once foreign fortune is damaged, it's hard to recover. Lin Moyu, with killing intent, said, "You want to kill me, then I'll weaken your fortune, let's see if you feel the pain." Lin Moyu's body became hazy, displaying the true form of the great Tao of fortune. In this state, his sword of fortune would be more powerful, each strike could cut off more fortune. One strike after another, Lin Moyu was relentless, weakening the opponent's fortune. Although this approach is like inflicting 1,000 damage on the enemy, suffering 200 yourself. But it doesn't matter, His fortune has no foreign elements, it can recover even if lost. The opponent can't say the same. In the western continent, in a mountain forest, a roar suddenly erupted. A terrifying aura shot into the sky, covering nearly 1/3 of the western continent. The leader of the 100 Herb Alliance suddenly found his fortune continuously declining. He roared, "The brat is courting death." To him, the 3 laws were very important. Daring to strip his fortune meant a life and death enemy. Terrifying power rushed beyond the origin continent, falling like a meteor into the northern continent. In the Ice Fire secret treasury, Lin Moyu was happily weakening Ice Fire Grass's fortune when his expression suddenly changed, quickly retreating. A terrifying power rushed in from outside the treasury, appearing in the sky, forming a giant face. This face seemed to grow on a tree, full of bark. It looked at Lin Moyu, speaking coldly, "I remember you." As the words fell, this power fell on Ice Fire Grass. Ice Fire Grass's aura suddenly strengthened, breaking free from the control of the Buddhist Lich, erupting with world-shaking flames, killing all the hell fiends around. Lin Moyu frowned, "The power has increased, but the fortune has decreased." The leader of the 100 Herb Alliance has severed the fortune between himself and Ice Fire Grass. In that case, Lin Moyu smiled, activating the fortune explosion technique. With the fortune severed, Ice Fire Grass's fortune was no longer related to the leader of the 100 Herb Alliance. Lin Moyu couldn't weaken the leader's fortune through Ice Fire Grass. Since the fortune was unrelated, Ice Fire Grass's fortune dropped to the freezing point, and at the freezing point, the fortune explosion technique could shine. The fortune explosion technique activated, Lin Moyu's fortune doubled, and Ice Fire Grass exploded from within. The fortune was detonated, Ice Fire Grass was blown to pieces, and its newly risen aura rapidly diminished again.